Kevin Connors, you nailed it. We are back in Greenville for a Thursday night in college football as you were watching the Rocket Money kickoff back at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, where the second half of the season gets started for both Tulsa and East Carolina. If there's one thing they do well, and we know it's a guarantee, it's going to get rowdy at the Dowdy. East Carolina hoping to get over last week's loss against Tulane, while Tulsa, coming out of the bye week, feels fresh, feels good. If they think they have a second half of the schedule that they can make a run. And with that, welcome into Thursday night, industry night here in college football. Tom Lugan, Bill, and Matt Berry. Really, when you look at the American Conference, as we get into the back half of the season, Lugs, we're talking about 12 teams that are in contention to play in the conference championship, and one of them still East Carolina, even with last week's loss to Tulane.
Well, they think that going into the back half of the season, if they can put 4 quarters together, we've seen glimpses.
Yeah.
We've seen some spots here and there of being really productive. They are talented, but they haven't been able to execute at a consistent enough level to be considered in the conversation yet. With the Tulanes and the Memphis and the North Texas and the Navies and the South Floridas, doesn't mean it can't happen down the stretch, and it starts tonight.
Now, as Connor says, and we alluded to, we're intimately familiar with this ECU team, especially this offense. So we know Caden Hauser well, and we know that when this guy is on and this offense is on, it is a beautiful thing to watch, and it goes quick.
Yes, and listen, everybody talks about speed and tempo and pace of play, but guess what? Everybody can go fast if they choose to. The question is, can you go fast and execute? And that's not what they did a week ago on the road at Tulane in a game that, in all likelihood, they probably should have won. But the second half, it was critical for them to get off to a fast start, particularly on first and second down.
That's right.
That's what sets the tone for this offense. You see the number of plays right there, 77 plays a game. That's second FBS rank right there. But if it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, that slows them down and it takes them out of their comfort zone.
So we're talking about a quick start and a fast start for East Carolina. But as we bring in our Harry Lyles, you spoke with players, Harry, that are actually looking for something else tonight.
Yeah, Matt, when I spoke with Caden Hauser, he said they're looking for energy. That was the point of emphasis this week with this East Carolina team. He said that they're eager to get the bad taste out of their mouth after that Tulane loss last week, because as Blake Harrell told me at halftime last week, if his team would have come out with better energy in that first half, the result might have been different. When I spoke with backup quarterback and one of the leaders of this team, Mike Wright, he said the thing that stood out to him was that energy as well. He said while it's easy to get discouraged about the games that they've lost this season, they don't take moral victories, but they understand how good they can be and how good they are when that energy is right. So look for that energy early and often here tonight, guys.
Yeah, Harry, when we said that when this team puts it all together, they are one of the most talented teams in this league. On the other side, Trey Lamb in Tulsa. It is a youth movement in Tulsa. 36 years old. That is the 4th youngest coach at FBS. Yep. A young quarterback tonight, but he's coming out of the bye week, going to the second half of the season, letting people know that we are going to build this thing, and we're going to do it with the youth movement.
We're going to do it with young players and players that we think give us the best chance to win.
And as we take a look at our Rocket Money Spotlight, we're going to go with Baylor Hayes, the young quarterback who they told us this week they're riding their West through.
Absolutely. Originally signed to East Tennessee State under Coach Trey Lamb. He brings him with him to Tulsa. And the reason why they're going to ride him out, they know he's a freshman. They know there's going to be some potholes in the road, but he gives them the best chance to win because he's got the riverboat gambler mentality. He can make plays with his legs, so the play is never dead, and he just loves his competitive temperament. Not going to wow you with physical attributes, but they feel like he's the best answer down the stretch.
They said that he's young, so he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And sometimes that's fun, and sometimes it's not if you're the coach. Kickoff from Greenville, North Carolina is coming up next. It is Thursday. It is fun. This has been the Rocket Money Kickoff. Welcome to ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance, as we're watching the American Conference on ESPN. The students have made their way into the Dowdy. Tulsa has won the toss. They've elected to receive. So we will see the young Baylor Hayes starting tonight. Sit back, relax. Another week of college football is here. That's Kelvin Washington, true freshman from the end zone, bringing it out past the 15. And special teams did their job, keeping him outside the 25-yard line. And we were told that if Tulsa won the toss, they wanted to come out there on offense and play.
Yeah, I talked to Trey Lamb at pregame. He said, listen, we're going to take the ball if we win it because I don't want their offense to get off to a fast start. What I want to do is I want to run the football, take time off the clock, and hopefully have a methodical drive. As you take a look at Baylor Hayes here, as we mentioned, came over from East Tennessee State with his head coach, Trey Lamb, scrapper, riverboat gambler, whatever adjectives you want to use to describe him. He's one of those guys that's an infectious personality. The team gravitates towards his competitive temperament. He gives them the best chance to win because of his arm and his legs.
You're going to see the legs of Dominic Richardson tonight. He is a talented running back. You heard the studio talk about him. Nothing there, though, as Raheem Craig and Zion Wilson team up for the tackle.
Boy, Zion Wilson did a fantastic job right there, splitting the gap between the center and the guard. That's tough when you are a running back, especially somebody like Dominic Richardson, who's a big, tall, upright runner, and you have penetration in the backfield. You got to make that guy miss on your own. Lucky to get a gain of 1.
31 carries, 146 yards in that win against Oklahoma State. Tulsa comes out strong. They've scored on the opening drive 3 of the last 4 games. What do they have here? They elect to run again, and the Pirates all over it.
That's just ECU, Matt, winning the one-on-one matchups up front on those single blocks in the run game. This is where Tulsa is going to be challenged tonight, and now you find yourself in the unenviable spot of 3rd and long, not how Trey Lamb at Tulsa wanted this drive to start off.
Down in the end of the student section, they call it the boneyard. So a long 3rd down for the true freshman, first possession. Out of the backfield, incomplete. A.J. Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll be a 3 and out. We talked about the energy that Harry was saying. You see the defense come off the field hyped up that they got the 3 and out.
Yeah, and then Baylor Hayes there just got to get the jitters worked out, get the nerves worked out. You've got a road contest here, pretty hostile environment, backed up into the student section. Get that one, wipe it from your system, get ready to play the next series.
Aussie punter Angus Davies in the punt, averaging 44 yards a punt this season, 5th best in the American. That's Kyler Pearson. And that ball checked right around the 50-yard line. So not only do you get a 3 and out, but Caden Hauser and this offense gets good field position to start.
Well, you love that, and what it may lead you to do is potentially take a shot. But as we talked about with Caden Hauser, as good as he has been, they haven't been able to consistently put it together, particularly on early downs. When John David Baker, the offensive coordinator for ECU, if he gets a beat on something and something's working well, he's got to stick with it. Don't deviate for the sake of just deviating, and that means getting off to a positive start on 1st down, whether that's run or pass.
London Montgomery will start in the backfield. They have 4 backs that they're comfortable with. You'll likely see all 4 tonight. And you see Hauser keep it, fooled the Tulsa defense. They went and tackled Montgomery, and there you go, 4 on 1st down.
I really love that, too, because that's not a staple of this offense. But the running game has been so good with the 4 running backs you mentioned. Now you keep the defense on their heels with the quarterback keep.
Hauser to throw on 2nd down. Comes back to the other side. Making a man miss. That's to Cerio Riles, one of the tight ends, split out wide, and that's a gain of 10. And there's that first down that jump starts the whole thing.
And look how fast they get up to the line of scrimmage.
Quick throw, incomplete. Good coverage by Tulsa. Intended for Yannick Smith. That was Elijah Green, one of the best defenders on one of the best receivers.
Oh, Elijah Green is going to be a premier player, not just in the American Conference, but in college football as a whole. 6'2", 195-pound corner that can match up with anybody in this conference.
Blitz coming, picked up. Hauser, far side. Good throw. Anthony Smith, he's the big play guy, and that's a gain of 11.
Fast, 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 fast. I love that speed cut out, single coverage to the wide side of the field, and Caden Hauser throws a frozen rope.
Play fake. Incomplete. It really is amazing, as that was intended for Anthony Smith, double coverage, Drew and Williams. It really is amazing how the first starts almost activate the whole thing.
It's unbelievable, right? It's like a different football team when they have any type of success on first and second down. They're dictating terms to the defense right now. It's exactly how they want it.
We were curious tonight coming in how much they would rely on this successful running game. That's the first carry for Montgomery, and there you have it. That's a gain of 6, and so now you're 3rd and short.
Now you got the entire playbook open to you, 3rd and short. In this type of offense, this style of game, you're at home. This could be 4-down territory for you.
Oh, you can bet, based on how they started last week, that Coach Harrell's likely going to play all 4 downs. The pitch out to Montgomery. Good blocking, good run, 1st down. So we've seen a little bit of everything for the Pirates on this opening drive. Successful run, successful throw game. DeCirio Riles and Anthony Smith sprung the running back.
DeCirio Riles was in the slot that time, did a fantastic job walling off the defender, making that one-on-one block to allow the back to turn the corner. Excellent execution.
Throw, incomplete. Intended for Spalding, the slot, Brock Spalding. They like to rely on him as well. Lento Smith Jr. there on the coverage. Player they like on defense. He's a really good cover player, and you saw it there. There's Montgomery trying to follow his blocks, and Tulsa did a good job there. Ray Coney, their captain, averaging 10.7 tackles per game. That's 6th in the nation. He also came over from ETSU.
Yeah, which is great for Coach Trey Lamb, because you've got 2 guys on both sides of the ball that are familiar with what the standard's going to be. What is it that Tulsa's trying to build from a culture standpoint? Got 2 players on either side of the ball that understand that and can help install it.
This is the 10th play of the drive, 3rd and 10. Hauser keeping his eyes downfield. Incomplete. No flag.
Wow.
You could see Anthony Smith's jersey get grabbed on the route. The fact that he even had a chance to catch that was remarkable.
Ball gets hit as Caden Hauser's trying to follow through, but how that's not a defensive hold on the Tulsa defender right there is beyond me. Now, I know the ball was tipped, the ball's in the air, but I think that grab happened before the ball left the quarterback's hand. That's Elijah Green, number 7. We talked about him early.
Nick Mazzy on for a 31-yard field goal attempt. All right, a flag on this play, pre-kick.
False start, offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
You know, we had talked about whether or not they'd go for it on 4th down, but 4th and 10, too much to swallow in your first drive of the game, and now they'll back it up 5.
Well, you had a great defensive start to the game. All right, now you had a nice long drive on offense. Take your points, put your defense back on the field.
So 36-yarder now for Mazzy. Hit his season long a week ago, a 46-yarder against Tulane. Five yards didn't matter. Mazzy right down the fairway again. But a potential PI miss halted the drive, ended up at a field goal lose.
Well, it all depends on whether or not the ball was tipped after the fact. Doesn't matter, 3-0 East Carolina.
Blake Harrell, first year as the full-time head coach. Took over October 20th last year, which, by the way, is his birthday. So he's first year leading this program. Led him to a bowl game win last year against North Carolina State. Off to a good start, 3-0 here. This season, they're undefeated when scoring any points on the opening drive. So that could fare well for them as we get going.
You got another birthday coming up on Monday.
So he was having a talk with the officials, probably about the exact same thing we were, about whether or not that was early, as Kelvin Washington again. He's going to be able to return this time from the 1, 15-20. Gets popped, but gets it to the 25-yard line as we take a look at our impact players built by the Home Depot.
Impact players this week, there's quite a few players. There was kind of some tough choices, but I went with Dominic Richardson, the running back. We've seen him on a couple of snaps. And then one of the two safeties for East Carolina, Tegan Wilk, Jamarlee Riddle is the other one. Tegan Wilk had an opportunity to make a huge impact last week. Had a couple of interceptions, just narrowly not go his way. But the two safeties on this East Carolina defense are the headliners, and Dominic Richardson headlines the run game.
Second possession for Tulsa. Quick shot out. Ball dropped, bobbled by Braylon Presley, a player they want to use in every facet. He's listed as a running back, but he out of the backfield there as a receiver, down to Harry.
Baylor Harris, when he came over after that last possession on the third play, he said that the ball was slick. He was telling that to Trey Lamb, so something to monitor here on this drive.
Oh, yeah, Harry was telling us that Baylor Hayes over on the sideline talking about a slick ball. And that's a good look at what Richardson's capable of doing. He's a big guy, but he can slither in there and gain a 5, bringing up third medium.
And lo and behold, look who makes the tackle. Tegan Wilk, number 3, one of those two safeties on that ECU defense, coming up and tattooing Richardson. But third and medium, manageable here for the Tulsa offense. We take another look. Boom. You know, that first down drop to Braylon Presley, like, you're a young quarterback, you're trying to get him in rhythm, you gotta make that play to get that quarterback some confidence.
By the way, were you just bragging on yourself that your two impact players just made plays?
Yes, that they made an impact.
Amazing. They're also built by the Home Depot. There's a gain of 4. On third down, that was Richardson. So Tulsa quick to come off the field and run out the punting unit, which is the right call with ECU's offense. And so far, 2 3-and-outs now for Tulsa.
Better drive, move the football, just not getting enough. I like the call with the little shovel pass underneath.
There's Davies again. Fares much better with the bounce this time. That's going to roll all the way to the 11-yard line. So a punt of 56 yards. Again, he averages 44, 12 above the average. ECU's ball when we return to Greenville.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And in part by Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
We were actually staying on that bus the last 3 weeks we've been here in Greenville as you were watching the American Conference on ESPN. Second possession, and I mentioned the American and how competitive it is. Lugs, when you look down, really 4 teams out, every one of those teams, UTSA on up, they're in this thing to win it. That's why tonight's huge for East Carolina.
Yeah, it's such a competitively balanced conference, top to bottom. Really good quarterback play, top to bottom. And now we're going to see Caden Hauser and Mike Wright, the backup quarterback, is split out to the bottom of your screen.
And TJ Engelman had career numbers last week, second half of Tulane, and that's Wright, the backup quarterback, and that's going to be a flag. That's going to be a face mask and 15 on J.D. Drew.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 3. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Steven Anderson, our official tonight, and they rave about Mike Wright. They said he could be the next president of the United States. He's a team guy. He's an athlete. It shows because they just want him on the field.
Yeah, jack of all trades, can play anywhere, can play out of the backfield, can throw on some of the gadget stuff that you'd like to see, and a tremendous leader.
And there's Engelman. Boy, does he have quicks. It was funny last week in our game against Tulane. We're used to seeing Parker Jenkins, London Montgomery, and 21, Marlon Gunn. We see a 20 run out there. We're like, is that?
Who's that?
TJ, and boy, did he announce himself early.
Well, he was moving at a different speed.
Quick throw and a good job by Tulsa's defense to blow that thing up. Great recognition by Devin Robinson, the safety.
Well, you notice that quick trigger to step up and break that thing up. So don't think that East Carolina at some point's not going to come back and take a shot over the top off of the pump fake and the quick screen.
Everything's done with intention. This is defensive coordinator Josh Reardon. So a 3rd and 3. Play clock at 5. Snap off at 2. Hauser scans the middle of the field. And he didn't get the first down yardage. That was Coney bringing down Jaquez Petaway.
Well, and Matt, I think he had it when he caught the ball and went backwards. He gave it up once he caught the football, and they're going to go for this. See that 3-man front there for Tulsa. They're going to try to plug the gaps to either side of that nose guard.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was short of the line to gain. That play is under further review.
Yeah, so you brought it up. He may have given it up. You'll wonder if they take a look at the forward progress caught past.
Well, the contact, though, doesn't take place until he retreats there a little bit. He catches it beyond the line to gain.
Gives us our first opportunity to bring in our rules analyst, Jerry McGinn. Jerry, what do you see?
I tell you, man, I agree with Tom. He does have it initially, but he goes back on his own, and he is stopped short of the line to gain. This should be upheld.
All right, so the key thing you heard Jerry say, gave it up on his own.
Right, because when he starts to retreat and gives it up, that's when the contact starts. Had he just dropped down after he caught the football right then and there, it's first down and fresh set of downs.
All right, so they upheld the call. It'll be 4th down. And now the punter runs out. So a good stop for Tulsa's defense. It'll be Ryan Levy punting it away. That is interesting. I mean, how many times do we see it in games? Players, instead of going north and south, try to get more going east-west, and sometimes it's to your detriment. Flag down on the punt. Zion Booker caught it at the 15. And it's going to be a procedure penalty on ECU. Trey Lamb will decide whether they want to re-kick it.
Illegal formation. Kicking team. More than 4 in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
All right, so they will have a re-kick.
Try and gain a little field position here for Tulsa and Trey Lamb's squad.
You know, I love talking to Trey Lamb. I love talking to young head coaches because of how they get into he was a head coach at 29 years old. And he's only 36. Again, he's 4th youngest coach at FBS.
He's worked himself up, and you see more than 4 men in the backfield on the illegal formation right there, and he's just trying to gain a little bit of extra yardage. And I like this move by Blake Harrell, the ECU head coach, by punting this. He knows he's played good defense so far. See if he can get some field position back.
And he's going to get a lot of yardage back, but it comes off the punter. The punt returner fumbled it. Zion Booker had it come off his chest. And did the re-kick backfire on Tulsa? No. Golden Hurricane retained the ball, Lugs.
Wow.
And it looks as if Booker was able to fall back on it.
Well, it was a good call by Trey Lamb to force the re-kick. He did end up gaining about 13 extra yards, and now they're up on the ball ready to go here.
So 2-3 and outs for Tulsa to start. Hayes throws on 1st down and just misses his receiver behind the line of scrimmage. Or are they going to rule that incomplete? That looks like it was thrown behind, Luke.
It did, just a little bit.
It's intended for Micah Tees.
Micah Tees, a Texas A&M transfer, one of the faster, more explosive targets on this offense. Take a look at where this ball ends up.
Ooh.
From where Hayes is standing and throwing, that's going forward.
Again to Tees, and again a misfire by Hayes.
These are the gimmies. If you're Trey Lamb over there on the sideline, you're saying, guys, we're trying to get you some confidence by giving you some easy ones here. All right, we have an overthrow, we have a drop, and here we are at 3rd and 10 for 2 series in a row.
Young quarterback, true freshman, but you're riding him. Redshirt freshman, rather. He's the guy.
Yeah, you got to help him out.
3rd and long. Defender there. Quick outing, good individual effort. That was Zion Booker. And an injured Pirate on the play after a gain of 9.
Injury on the defense.
It's Jackson Barker. See him down on his knees. But Lugs, you hit on it a moment ago as they'll come out and check Barker. The early down plays were on and not executed, leaving you a 3rd and long, and they get 9, but it's not going to be enough to extend the drive.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Lamb's not really thinking this over. You're on the road, you're trying to get something going. See what he comes back with here.
All right, they're going to look at Barker. We'll step aside and come back. All right, we are back 4th down and 1, and it looks like Tulsa brought the offense back out. Good news, Jackson Barker, the injured player, was able to run off the field. He looked to be okay. 63% conversion rate. 12 and 19 on the season. Trey Lamb looking for a spark. Up the middle. Did he get it? Depends on the spot.
This is going to be close, Matt.
By a face mask short or by a face mask good?
That side judge, it's going to depend on which of his feet he puts the ball down at.
Gave him the first down. Again, that was one of those plays we would have been surprised if they were short or surprised if they got it.
Well, this one is close. Stephen Riddleman, the third-string quarterback, comes in, hands the ball off. You see that side judge running in.
There's A.J. Allen.
It's close.
All for naught now. First down. Big hit. Baylor Hayes rocked by J.D. Lampley. Loss of 4.
You're going to see J.D. Lampley, I believe right in here, come and step up and twist around. Boom. On the line twist. Well done. They stunt right into the open gap as they're trying to set up quarterback run.
So Baylor Hayes going to take a shot downfield. Has a man. Incomplete. That was a pretty throw to Micah Tease. He couldn't hang on. And that was Chance Graves on the coverage. Rashid Reason out tonight, so Graves is going to get the shot at corner.
Well, that one just drops through the basket of Micah Tease. Former top 300 recruit in the country when he came out of high school, originally signed with Texas A&M. That's now, you want to label that a drop. That's 2 for him in the same series.
That's 3 for Tulsa on the night. 3rd and long. Hayes forced off his spot. Just going to throw that away, live to play another day. Wilson and Craig on the pressure. So if you were tuning in for some Thursday night offensive fireworks, but if you like punters, I mean, this is your spot. 3-0 right now. And we talk about a young quarterback, Lugs, and what Hayes is facing tonight. The drops, the sack, little things that can get to a young player's head as Davies punts that off to Kyler Pearson for 37 yards. Our Saturday SEC on ABC college football schedule starts at noon Eastern, but we're featuring number 5 Ole Miss in Georgia, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a fun one to watch because you're going to learn a lot about Ole Miss. Is this Lane Kiffin's year? And then Alabama continues its gauntlet 4 weeks in a row. Winner's going to be smoking some cigars in that one, 7:30 Eastern on ABC.
Big opportunity for Joey Aguilar to go on the road, and going to be a big one. Ole Miss, well, that quarterback Trinidad Chambliss is a handful for Georgia on defense.
What a story he's been. Hauser going to throw on first down, long out route to Smith. They've hit that out route twice. J.D. Drew on the coverage. And you're right, going back to what you just said a moment ago about Joey Aguilar. They've loved him to the first half of the season. This could be his moment. Who's playing better right now other than Ty Simpson? Boy, has he been good.
Boy, he's been fantastic, working his way into being a top 10 pick.
So that was good enough for a first down. Here's Hauser again. He's going to go downfield. This guy is wide open, and he is trotting into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates. Anthony Smith beat the 2 good corners, Elijah Green and the safety Lento Smith, and he just went for 66.
They pump it to the outside. The safety does not get off the hash enough, allowing Caden Hauser to just fit that right inside the window along the sideline. Excellent pitch and catch.
And that's what they've been looking for the last 5 quarters, dating back to last week against Tulane. Get the big play guys involved. Anthony Smith untouched. Even ran longer than he needed to. Cut across diagonally. Extra point is good. And Lugs, when they wake up, when this offense wakes up, this is what happens.
We got the little hitch and then go, and it catches the quarterback looking inside. There's your safety I talked about, not being able to get off the hash and widen, so it makes that hole right there for the quarterback to throw it into. See the slight pump fake from Caden Hauser, and then he drops it right in the hole, right over the outstretched arms of the safety and Lento Smith. And you're off to the races. And there's those explosive plays.
Right.
First down success allows them to go fast, gain momentum. That's what they need, and they've gotten off to a fast start tonight.
Pass offense 3rd in the conference. Caden Hauser, he's been wanting that. He's been getting frustrated. He's been admitted his frustrations. But he knows outside between Yannick Smith, Anthony Smith, Petaway, Spalding, he knows he's surrounded by playmakers. And so the frustration's natural.
He's such a perfectionist that he expects the execution and the level of execution all around him to be an elite level all the time.
Little wake-up call for Dowdy Ficklin as Jaquez Washington, or Kelvin Washington rather, from the goal line. He's returned all 3 kicks, 25, and he's gotten further on each return. That out to the 28-yard line. Jonathan Jean on the tackle. For 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you, All-State. All right, Luke, how do we get the young quarterback going?
Well, he needs some help. If you're going to give him the short gimme, what I call confidence throws, he's got to be accurate, and they've got to catch the football. Right there's another example, an inaccurate throw on the simple speed cut out. They just can't seem to get in rhythm and be connecting one-to-one.
So T's another drop, suspended for a game. He's back tonight.
Well, they've targeted him a bunch tonight and can't seem to get on the same page.
That was his 4th target already in the first quarter. Empty backfield. Hayes on the run. Elects to keep it. Dives forward. Gain of 4. Kevon Merrill and DJ Johnson Jr. Heady move, though, to dive forward to get the yards rather than sliding and taking less.
Yeah, you initiate the slide. It goes where you initiate it, not where you end up.
So 3rd and 6. Tees. Brought out by Wilk. And a gain of 19.
Baylor Hayes had 2 options there. He could have kept that and taken it himself. He ends up handing it off on the perimeter, and Tulsa does a really nice job with the stock blocks on the outside, allowing Spring, Micah Tees, and let him turn the corner.
So Tulsa was up to the ball to go tempo, and ECU subbing guys in. Takes the tempo out, gets fresh bodies in after the gain of 19 and a first down. Hayes again, quick shot. Lugs, that's what you're talking about. High percentage confidence throws that you got to make. That was Booker for 5.
Pitch and catch. Make the routine ones routinely. Don't make it harder than it needs to be, because then the quarterback's going to start gaining confidence and might get a little dangerous.
I was talking to Ryan Switzer pregame. I said, plan on offense tonight. He goes, we're going to go fast. Woo. Hayes, how about that? And a flag down at the end. They talked about his mobility and a best chance to get him a win. And you saw, hey, look, he's mobile.
He's very mobile. I think they're going to get potential hold on a stock block, maybe here from Zion Steptoe. Was in the vicinity right at the end of the play along the sideline. Yep.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
That's a drive killer with what you have going on in your young quarterback. You can see him just getting confidence each play.
Every time it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back right now. And he's made a couple of nice plays with his legs. A couple of pitch and catch confidence throws. Still second and short here.
So it's a spot foul. They're going to try to get Richardson going up the middle. Picks up 3, and that'll be a first down. And a player down for Tulsa.
Officials timeout. Injury on the offense.
And that's Sean Hill, the left guard, transfer in from NC State.
Big number 65 on the right side of your screen. Looks like he gets rolled up a little bit by number 54, Zion Wilson from East Carolina.
That's the thing with the offensive linemen too, Luke. They're always in the wash.
Right.
And you can get rolled up on at any point. Most of them, you see him wearing those big knee braces as well. And a good sign he's able to pop up. Big fella going to walk off on his own.
There he goes.
So a good drive going here for Trey Lamb and this Tulsa offense. After East Carolina popped him for 66. Perimeter game huge for Tulsa coming in. We've seen it here tonight. Play fake, wide open. And that is Brody Foley. Tulsa answers. Now, how about that? Brody Foley came in averaging over 18 yards per reception. That was for 38, and that's an answer for the young team.
Spectacular play there, Matt. Execution on that drive was outstanding. Got to give this young quarterback confidence, as we've been talking. It's a great design here, too, from Trey Lamb and this Tulsa offense, utilizing the H-back and Brody Foley, because what they're going to do is they're going to utilize him here as the up-back and look like he's going to lead in here to block on this backer, and then he takes it right up the seam while they run the fake here. Really well designed. Watch 80, and then he just sneaks past to the second level, and all the quarterback's got to do is lob it up. And what an important series for this Tulsa offense.
Absolutely huge. Again, we're going to beat this down, but you've got the young head coach, Trey Lamb. You've got the young quarterback. You've got a young program in the second half of their schedule with an offensive-minded head coach that wants to come on the road and watch his team grow.
And finally, they got out of their own way there, right? It took them a few series as the first quarter's winding down here, but you start catching the ones you're supposed to catch. You start making the throws that are there to be made, and then you come up with a little wrinkle and razzle-dazzle.
Silly you, Luke, thinking the first quarter is winding down. This one's been a pot of coffee. Still got 2 minutes and 44 seconds and a high-tempo offense. Where do you think we're going? Pearson, the first time as kick returner, and he's going to take that in the end zone. They'll take the ball at the 25-yard line. Tell you what, we got a Friday night doubleheader tomorrow night. Look at that first one.
Ooh.
Miami, who some would argue, we talked about this on SportsCenter today, they might be the best team in the country without sliding Ohio State. But boy, is Mario Cristobal have that thing going. They look good.
Best offensive line in the country, high caliber quarterback play. from Carson Beck and a retooled defense and a team that can get after you up front.
However, Louisville's talented, so proceed with caution. Is that Engelman out of the backfield? He does not run with caution. He just goes.
No, Matt, we were down on the field in pregame warm-up, and we were kind of looking him up, trying to see, okay, what's he look like if you're sizing him up? He's one of those guys that's short, but he's not small.
I get it. 5'9", 189, and fast. But this is truly a case, as again, you see he's effective up the gut for 7. This is truly the case of a player earning his time.
No question.
Hadn't done anything all season as a career night second half Tulane. Now he's the second back tonight.
Yeah, and you can just tell he just gives them some burst, some explosiveness.
Even the coaches laughed this week in our meetings. Where it was like, where did he come from? They're like, we know. He showed out. It's going to be 3rd and short. Engelman's touched the ball all 3 plays. Coney and Robinson bringing him down.
I think you keep feeding him. Hand it right off to him again.
Ask and you shall receive.
You know, Matt, this is an area that, as we've seen now, East Carolina 3 times. This is the area where if you have a frustrated moment with this offense, is they get a clean beat on something and they go away from it.
Hauser. Spalding. Big shot.
And this time they connect on it.
See, Luke's?
There we go.
Gain of 31.
Well, you start running it, come off the quick token play pass in the backfield, and Brock Spalding out of the slot on the nice seam route.
And that's Engelman again up the gut. And you're right. There's an injured player down.
Officials timeout. Injury on the offense.
That's Jamarian McCrimmon, the left tackle. Seen a couple of offensive linemen get banged up tonight. You know what it is, Luke? I think when people hear high tempo offense, I mean, you come in, their pass offense is 3rd in the American. Total offense is 6. When you hear high tempo and you know the passing stats, you think all they do is throw. All they do is throw. I'll tell you, as far as Stabler running backs and their ability to run the ball, they outrushed Tulane last week, and a lot of people don't do that.
Well, and it's intentional. They want to run the football, but it's a numbers game for them. They're going to spread you out horizontally, and they're going to see if you will dare to line up with a light box. If you are, and they've got a numbers advantage up front, they're going to run it every single time.
Mike Wright, backup quarterback on the field. Set next to Hauser. Looks as if Wright's taking the snap. Hauser motioning out. Wright runs the ball. Cuts outside. Jack of all trades. We've seen him line up at running back, receiver, and corner. He played defense tonight as well.
Well, I like the play design, too. You use the quarterback and you motion him out. Well, you still have to do something when the quarterback motion's out there. You just can't ignore it. That kind of widens and thins the box for quarterback draw. Excellent play design there from John David Baker.
And now big Marlon Gunn is in. You want to see a bowling ball?
Here's your bruiser.
This is my guy.
That's your
Marlon Gunn. Every time he comes in.
This is the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
See?
And, yeah, that wasn't bad, actually. Anytime he comes in, he's 6 yards and meat.
The keg with arms.
I mean, the dude runs hard. We got a good one. The young Tulsa team came to play. ECU trying to answer. We've officially ended the first quarter. ECU up.
Welcome back to Greenville, where East Carolina leads Tulsa 10-7. Coach, how would you evaluate your team's play in that first quarter, and what are the keys moving forward here to end the first half?
Awful. I don't know that we could play any worse. We can't throw and catch. I'm trying to give him easy completions. He can't hit them. We drop an open hitch route. We drop a wide open, and we keep getting the ball thrown over our heads. So we better get something fixed real quick, or it's going to be a long night.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Well, that'll take care of the flybys.
Coach, how do you really feel?
That's why I love young coaches.
I do too.
Don't just, I mean, Dillingham at Arizona State.
He ain't wrong.
No, he's not. We've been saying it up here in the booth. The candor was amazing. Great job, Harry. So ball spotted at the 1. Gun in the backfield, heavy personnel. And the Keg scores. Be amazing if he did a cake stand like as a celebration. You know they have those here at ECU.
And I'm telling you, this offense, when they're humming on early downs, when you get the tempo going, their ability to run the football with any one of their 4 running backs, the offensive line starts to feel themselves a little bit. They're dangerous because they've got explosiveness on the perimeter, a quarterback that can make the throws, and a run game that can change the game.
So start of the second quarter. ECU answers Tulsa. Points on 3 of the 4 possessions for ECU. Back-to-back touchdown drives, and Gunn punches it in.
Push the pile. He can do that. You know, this is an offense right now that's playing in the offensive line the way that you could line up, and Coach Blake Harrell could say, hey, John David Baker, let's run it 3 plays in a row right here. Bet you we'll get the first down. Then let's do it again, and then let's pop one downfield.
And activate it.
Yes.
I mean, nowadays, in this world of college football, depth-wise, you know, 2 teams, you're going to have 2 good running backs.
You have to.
Right? For depth, but going past that with kids who want to go somewhere else and play.
There's a drop-off. Not a drop-off here.
No. No, these are 4 guys who can run it well. At 17, I mean, technically not first quarter points because it happened at the first snap of the second quarter, but a good start for ECU. Again, all returns tonight for Washington, the true freshman. And a really good drive, kind of a wake-up drive, kind of a grow-up drive for Baylor Hayes last possession to kind of get this thing going. Because you heard Trey Lamb say it, he's not wrong.
Nope.
But now you coach the kid up and get back after it.
Well, now he's got a little bit of confidence. It's like, see, guys, if we just execute, if we don't have self-inflicted wounds, we'll move the ball down the field, we'll maintain possession of the ball, and we'll keep that other offense on the sideline.
And they'll try to give the ball to that fella, Dominic Richardson. He runs high and hard. I mean, how about that carry? Just bringing an entire pirate ship with him after 9. Riddle was the first guy there. I hadn't called his name yet tonight.
Well, really good recognition of the backside cutback lane. He makes that defender miss off the edge, and then he gets north and south immediately.
Gonna give it to him again. And he's one of those running backs, like he's not gonna try to shy away from contact. You saw him there. It's like, take my shoulder pad and give me the first down.
He's an upright runner that is kind of what I would call a slasher. You know, he just kind of weaves in and out of traffic. Really tall, upright pad level. He can lower it and lower the boom as well.
It's Damian Wilson back in action tonight. Little end around. That's step toe. Step toe's got space. He's quick. And the big plays continue tonight. Tulsa certainly found its rhythm, 32 yards.
Terrific blocking on the perimeter from Tulsa. Now they hustle to get up to the line of scrimmage, and rightfully so. They just got East Carolina outflanked on defense.
Officials are blowing the whistle down there, stopping the tempo.
Man, that's not good for Tulsa. That's not what you want. You get the momentum of the explosive.
Game clock operator, please reset to 13:37 and start on my signal.
So home clock helped out ECU to stop the tempo.
To get to the perimeter with step-toe and then block really well on the perimeter. And again, an explosive play takes the pressure off of the quarterback too.
Hayes wide open. Caught. That's Foley again. The tight end is a big play waiting to happen tonight in a gain of 25.
Well, young Baylor Hayes pumps it here too. Gets him to jump up. Foley down the sideline. There is something going on with that football.
You heard Harry's report.
Yes, Harry talked about it. There's something slick that's happening with Baylor Hayes and his inability to consistently grip the football. You just saw it right there. He gets up from the pile, starts rubbing his thumbs and his index fingers together. I don't know what it is, but it's just coming out of his hand and he can't control it.
He mentioned that after the first possession of the game. Trips formation, bunch on the side. Hayes gonna keep it. Hayes has space. And a gain of 7. An impressive 2 drives for Tulsa after a shaky start. They're on the board of answering ECU back as we check in with Harry.
Yeah, Matt, I can tell you as it pertains to the slickness of the football, the field is still a little bit dewy down here, and it's something that Baylor Hayes has even complained about even on the previous drive here, so something to continue to keep an eye on.
It's like that first tee time out, 7 a.m. Get that morning dew.
Ball running a little slow.
Oh, the dew sweepers are the best tee times there are. Maybe a timeout here. The play clock was.
Timeout. Tulsa. They're first.
I've been really impressed with the answer. Tulsa's answer. They're responding, right? Now they find themselves knocking on the door here inside the 5-yard line. East Carolina up 17-7. Tulsa knocking on the door.
This was during the break. Harry Lyles has been reported that Baylor Hayes has been complaining about the ball. Trey Lamb goes and gets the ball, and he's saying, this is not slick. You can read his mouth saying it's not slick. Throw it.
Throw the ball.
It's incredible reporting by Harry to spot that out. Now it's become a theme, and Trey Lamb's basically like, it's not a theme. Throw the ball. To the outside. Touchdown, Tulsa. What a play design for Zion Booker. Faked it to Richardson on the right. Booker slid around on the left, and he just trotted in. This is getting fun.
This was really good, and it's a forward pitch, so it's an incomplete pass. If he drops it, then you got all the action going opposite of that. They get Raheem Craig, number 5, the defensive end for East Carolina. He takes one false step to the inside, and now they've secured the edge, and you're off to the races.
How about Hayes? 4 straight completions after a 2-9 start. Started 2 for 9 in this game, and now Tulsa's come on the road against one of the conference's best defenses, and after a shaky start, it's 17-14.
See the little pitch forward there, and then the running back and the offensive lines all blocking zone to the right, and they're able to set the edge, turn the corner, and again, we said it going just as we were going to break. The answer, the response from this young Tulsa team, inexperienced, a redshirt freshman quarterback. You've got guys coming back on offense off of suspension. You've been able to run the ball some here and there with Dominic Richardson. But this was a frustrating offense to watch for about the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, and they seem to have turned the page.
Remember, red zone defense last week for East Carolina against Tulane is what kept them in the game.
Absolutely, and it's the #1 ranked red zone defense in the conference.
And now Tulsa's gone down 2 big plays, one by the tight end, set it up. Brody Foley, he already scored. We have a ball game here in Greenville. So Pearson going to be able to return this one at the 5, gets to the 10, to the 15-yard line. Good special team by the Golden Hurricanes. It's time for our drive recap, brought to you by Paycom. And it started with the end-around run that got the drive going. Then they found the tight end again, Brody Foley, all setting up another scoring drive.
Yeah, one explosive after another. Big chunks of yardage, starting to gain confidence. Young quarterbacks starting to drop some dimes in there. They were struggling early, missing, and now they've got this East Carolina defense on their heels a little bit, trying to guess where the ball's going.
We've had 4 consecutive drives with touchdowns. Now it's a Thursday, and that's an incomplete pass to Spalding. In a blink, it was 3-0. We were talking about the punters, and now we're doing a scoring. And a missed opportunity there for Hauser out of the backfield.
And again, you can't have that type of miss on first down with this style of offense and what they want to be with their tempo. See if they can regain some of that yardage here on second down.
Going to go right back to Spalding on the handoff. He's got the edge, and a good job by Tulsa stringing it out, but Spalding able to get something, and by something, that's 8 yards, bringing up a 3rd and short.
Well-executed perimeter run there, requiring the wide receivers and running back London Montgomery to make some blocks on the move in space, and this is manageable.
So Montgomery now the back on this drive. He's going to get fed on 3rd down. He's going to go right up the middle. Tim Hardiman tackles him after 3 and a 1st down, ECU. An offensive explosion here to start the second quarter. Hauser fake, boot right. Chucked it hard to Riles, couldn't come up with it.
Credit Tulsa right there. They covered down in the secondary. He wanted to throw that football to Brock Spalding on the deep out route as they flooded the zone, rolling to his right. There was nowhere to go with it. So good throwaway right there. Tried to dump it off late with a lot of heat on it, Matt, but now you live to play the next down.
Out of the backfield to Montgomery. He's a slasher. He's quick. A gain of 6. And we were talking in preparation for this game about the ECU running game. Then we said plays like that, an extension of the running game to get the drive started.
No question. And they've got really good space players. It's a great example of it right there. You get those guys out in the open field, they're tough to tackle.
One-on-one coverage, won by Yannick.
Wow.
He and Elijah Green have been going at it. We'll give that possession to the receiver and a gain of 4 and a first down.
Well, number one, that was extremely well covered, but there's no defense against the perfect throw. And Yannick Smith right there doing a nice job extending away from his frame, is 6'3" versus 6'2" right there, and another fresh set of downs.
Caught the ball away from his body, moved the chains. Play fake. Trying to take a shot. There's Anthony Smith, open again. Touchdown. Oh, they're pouring those orange crushes now. A 66-yarder and a 63-yarder. Now it's industry night. And a random dog blanket.
Now we're talking.
That time he got behind the defense again. Nunu Campbell was beat. That is 2 60-plus yard touchdowns for the big play receiver, Anthony Smith. And you really saw it all on that drive. You had the run, you had Yannick, the long one, and then you had the big play guy.
Right here, boom, he's gonna take it there. Flat-footed safety, nobody guarding the middle of the field, and we're off to the races if you're ECU on offense. And the little corner post from Anthony Smith. And then speed does the rest. Answer for answer, bombs away here in Greenville, North Carolina.
And there you have the Taco Bell Live Moss student section. Only one student section will claim the title of Live Moss Student Section of the Year. Who will take the trophy home this year? I would imagine Jason Greenberg gets a vote because he goes in all of them.
You a fire guy, Diablo guy? What do you go with heat-wise? I'm Diablo all the way.
Diablo.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I want my tongue to be in danger.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw me last night at dinner. I said, bring every hot sauce you have out.
Oh, wasn't that good?
And my shrimp and grits went from good to elite.
I'd put hot sauce on cereal if it was socially acceptable.
Oh, don't worry about the stigma. I put it on cottage cheese and crush it. That's Kelvin Washington. Returned every kick tonight. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Has a crease, the true freshman. And we keep talking about this back and forth game we're in now. And there's the good field position. Got an injured player down for Tulsa.
Officials timeout. Injured player for Tulsa.
What a great start for Washington. That's the way you get young player, ball in his hands. Kicks haven't been going in the end zone. And now he's added yardage just about every time.
He has. He's gotten better and better in the return game as we wait to see here who is down for Tulsa. And then if you're Trey Lamb right now offensively, you feel so much better about your call sheet with your young quarterback because you're not backed up inside your own 20-yard line.
That's Aquavius Dunbar, the special teams unit. Had a few guys go down tonight, some early game injuries. But again, good news, able to, at least all of our injuries, they were able to get off the field on their own power and don't need help. And you mentioned play sheet's wide open now because it's clear your quarterback's got his confidence. You got out of that early game rut and you're going toe-to-toe with one of the best offenses in the league.
And you can kind of tell that Baylor Hayes is feeling it a little bit. Got himself in a little bit of a groove, hop in his step.
And oh, by the way, a defense that only gives up 15.5 points a game. They've already given up 14. Dominic Richardson tried out a hurdle for size, got him 4. Danka, first time we've called his name, and Jamarlee Riddle.
See what both teams have done there tonight. Had to force some punts, but now both teams getting hot.
You said Baylor's got confidence, look out behind. Was able to get something out of nothing. Zion Wilson chases him down.
And that right there is why they decided to ride the young redshirt freshman in Baylor Hayes, because if they play that and they have that type of pass rush versus Kirk Francis, their previous quarterback, it's a sack. It's a negative yardage play. Instead, they gain positive yards. They go in 3rd and short. And again, now your quarterback has options.
He's a fun kid to watch.
He is. He's scrappy. He reminds me of Anthony Calandria.
Yeah, I was going to ask for a comp.
Playing for UNLV right now under Dan Mullen. Just scrappy and finds a way to extend plays.
3rd and short. Play clock at 4. Play fake. Hayes sacked. They were taking a shot, but Craig and Robinson got there first. Raheem Craig, the leader of that defense. And they finally able to get Tulsa off the field.
That's where the pressure comes from, inside, splitting the gap there. They try to come over and block the edge on a late rusher, but it's number 5, Raheem Craig, making the play, applying the pressure, forcing a punt.
Feel bad we were bragging on the offenses and the back and forth touchdowns. And wouldn't you know it?
That's how it always happens, brother.
3 and out. As you can kick off Week 7, NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. The Countdown crew on ESPN, breaking stories, injury updates, the preview of each game to get it started. And Luke's, what's better than one Monday Night Football game?
2 Monday Night Football games.
These doubleheaders are fun. Statistician of the Stars, Ed Svita, he's up here in the booth with us tonight. He tells me he'll be at Buccaneers and Lions. And the truth of the matter is they actually go where Svita wants to go, not Buck and Aikman.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
He's Joe Buck's spotter. Gracious enough to spend some time with us on Thursdays.
Bless us with his presence.
Doesn't come in for team dinners.
Nope.
Just shows up on game day. Probably has to fly commercial.
27F.
A gain of 5 there for London Montgomery. They're just going to ride that running game, Lubes.
Here we go. Line up, hand it off, inside zone, downhill.
2 runs, 2 first downs.
Look how tight these safeties are now for Tulsa to the line of scrimmage.
I got a correction from my spotter, Dave Salati, that I accidentally called Ed Svita spotter to the Stars, statistician to the Stars.
Oh, that's true.
My apologies, sir. Your grace. 2nd and 1. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well,
Did I say that right?
If it ain't broke,
Yeah,
don't fix it.
that's
And
right.
as long as you see the guys wearing white jerseys playing with 2 high safeties off of each hash, you're going to continue to see East Carolina hand the ball off and run the football because they've got a numbers advantage in the box. You start seeing these Tulsa safeties start to creep down, and Lento Smith and Zach Williams and Devin Robinson getting near that line of scrimmage. That's when the ball's going to go up and over the top.
Oh, they're going to pop another one. That's exactly what they're setting up. But for now, they pitch it outside. Very active drive on the ground for London Montgomery. Lowered his shoulder on Zach Williams. Montgomery, 5'11", 197 pounds with speed.
Take 2nd and 3 every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Quick shot outside, incomplete. Intended for Spalding. 2nd and 3, the whole playbook's open. You have success running the game. You could run it 3rd and 3 and get it.
And I felt like Caden Hauser rushed that right there. He's got Spalding underneath just on the inside, 6-yard hitch route. 1, 2, 3, boom, ball out. It just seemed to hurry it.
The coaches have said that. He gets excited and goes too quick. And sometimes it's to his detriment. We saw it there. It's the last time they've had a play clock go under 10. Tulsa creeping on the blitz. Pitch out to Montgomery. I'll tell you, that was an athletic play by the running back. That was not the greatest pitch.
They're very fortunate, but the ball, I think, did go forward, which would be labeled a forward pass, but that's not a clean pitch from Caden Hauser to Montgomery. They give him the first down.
Play fake. Quick outside. The corner was right on it. I tell you, Elijah Green, they bragged about him pregame. They asked us politely not to brag about him in the broadcast, but it's hard not to when he's this good.
Tyler Johnson, the intended target to the short side of the field there, but you're right, the 6'2" corner. I mean, he has long arms, can run. He's physical. We've seen him at the point of attack, and he has blanketed, for the most part, these ECU receivers here tonight in the first half.
Marlon Gunn Jr. now the back. London Montgomery serviced him well this drive. No one there for Hauser. Couldn't tell if that was designed. Either way, picked up good yardage and a gain of 8.
Well, you had 5 players in the box, all right? You've got 6, and then the quarterback's the extra hat, right? So if Tulsa didn't have enough numbers in the box to be able to defend the quarterback run, that's why you saw such a big gain there, and another short 3rd down.
Four straight 3rd down conversions make it 5. There goes Spalding. However, flag on the play. They're going to get to Cirio Riles.
Holding. Offense number 6. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's 3rd down.
You know, Matt, this team in East Carolina has done such a good job of blocking on the perimeter on the outside tonight. But when you're asking somebody to stock block for this long, see how the arms are outside of the framework of the defender? That's going to get you every time because now you're left tugging and pulling just like we saw right there. If you get your hands on the inside and you can now maneuver and steer the defender and you don't see that jersey pull away, but that's a long time to ask a guy to stock block on the outside.
So went from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. Another spot foul negates Spalding's big play. Bad snap. Hauser just goes down with it. So how about that for a turn of events and a drive? Moving the ball, pop a big one on 3rd down, get the penalty, bad snap, Hauser eats it, now they're off the field.
Unbelievable turn of events. Gives you an idea just how critical penalties are, right? Field position is. Now your kicking game better come to play.
Early on in the season, Coach Harrell was talking about the penalties killing them and the drive stoppers. Levy back on to punt. Zion Booker, remember, had one come off his chest earlier, gets under that one, catches it safely at the 10 for a punt of 47. So after a run of touchdowns, we've had 2 punts again, 24-14. Here comes the young Baylor Hayes when we return. It is our duty when we're on the road to try the famous things in town, and that would be the Orange Crush at Sup Dogs. Thanks to our bartender last night, Mackenzie, who squished the oranges properly. An Orange Crush or 2.
I don't think I've ever had 1 or 3 of those.
That's a good point. As we take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. Ohio State still on top, but how about Indiana up at 3? Kurt Cignetti signing a contract extension today. Takes him out of the Penn State job, making over $11 million a year, as that's a first down throw to Micah Tease, brought down by Teague and Wilk, and a gain of 9.
Take a look at the top 10 right there. Once again, we talked about Indiana, Ole Miss, Alabama, hot as can be. Georgia and LSU, big ones this weekend with Ole Miss coming to Athens, LSU taking on Vandy.
So they're going to take a look to see if his knee was down when he caught it. This would Trey Lamb most certainly. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yep, that's easy. Those Micah Tees. He's had some drops tonight as well. Now let me ask you this from a quarterback's perspective. That's as much on the QB as it is the receiver.
That's on the quarterback right there. And I think what happens is it's such a short throw, and you realize the urgency of the throw.
The runner's knee was down at the 10-yard line. Be second down at that spot.
So instead of 9, it's a loss of 1.
And you're trying so hard to get the ball out of your hands so quickly that at times you're just not as accurate with the ball as you should be on what looks to be a very simple throw.
All right, so Harry reporting down to the sidelines. We saw 65 Sean Hill come off the field with the injury. He is back in. Now 2nd and 11 after the knee down catch. Play fake for Baylor. Looking over the middle of the field. Wide open step toe. How about that shot from the true freshman?
Not only was it a great shot, it was tremendous pocket movement and awareness to keep 2 hands on the ball as a pass rusher swiping by Baylor Hayes and then delivers a strike over the middle of the field. Baylor Hayes here, dip right underneath, keep two hands on the ball, protect that ball in the pocket. Really well done.
6 straight completion. Sorry, Luke, 6 straight completion for the youngster. And there's his legs. And you are dead right. We kind of glossed over it because there was a play a moment ago comparing him to Anthony Calandria at UNLV and the things Dan Mullen's doing with him, transferring from Virginia. Kind of a slider guy, but can run, and he's dangerous, and then he can throw as good as anyone.
Yeah, he can create when things break down. That's the big deal.
Hey, look at this.
Keeping his eyes downfield.
Incomplete. Fun to watch. Worth pointing out, step toe left the field after the big play with an injury.
Another impressive trait right there from Baylor Hayes. As a young player, oftentimes when you feel like you're under duress or you've got your view obstructed of the field, you bring your eyes down and you lose view and vision of the field. He did not do that right there, located a late target.
All right, step toe is back. Another first down. So they were able to get rid of that negative play. That takes us to the 2-minute timeout.
The 2-minute timeout.
An entertaining first half. We're talking about the youngster tonight because he's been impressive, as has ECU. With the ball, 24-14 at the 2. KC, thank you. Sam Acho, E.J. Manuel at the half. The Kurt Cignetti news huge. Is A.J. Allen off the left side. Check that. Kelvin Washington. He's been returning kicks tonight. You know, really the Penn State news in and of itself, the timing of the James Franklin move, but now you're going to hear all these names thrown out. Cignetti was one of them. Indiana took care of that today.
Indiana, $6 million for Kurt Cignetti.
Football school, everyone knows it.
Absolutely.
Hayes brought down. Held on the ball a little too long on that one and a loss of 1. Timeouts remain, 3 for East Carolina.
Timeout. ECU.
ECU uses one of their 3.
30 seconds. Game clock operator. Please reset.
College game day. Going to be live at the University of Georgia. Bulldogs host Ole Miss. You see that guy there, an exclusive interview. We were just talking about James Franklin a moment ago. 11.5 seasons at Penn State, coming off a playoff appearance a year ago, and now they'll be looking for a head coach in what I believe is going to be one of the wildest off seasons in college football history in terms of a coaching search, because there's already top flight jobs open.
Guys won a heck of a lot of football games, right? I mean, a lot of football games, and now we'll see what the future is there in State College. That's a big job, because whoever takes that job now, you're going to be expected to do everything James Franklin did, and then everything he didn't.
Right, and that's win a lot of games, but not get over the hump in some of the big games to get Penn State with what we thought was a national championship-looking roster, although they lost some All-Americans on defense. Nonetheless, there was talent there. Speaking of talent, Hayes trying to find one of his, dropped it in his hands, and Micah Tease can't come up with it.
That's the 3rd drop tonight from Micah Tease. 4th, actually, excuse me. 4th drop tonight, and this one is dropped right over the shoulder in the bucket. What a spectacular throw. And now, instead of having potential touchdown or a tackle inside the 10-yard line, you're Tulsa and you're forced to punt.
That's as good as that throw gets right there.
Absolutely.
And the Texas A&M transfer has been unable to hang on to him tonight. And now Blake Harrell, wise use of timeouts, gets the stop, albeit aided, gets the ball back. 1:07 seconds left. For this offense is an eternity with 2 timeouts.
Well, and it's such a critical drop because, remember, Tulsa chose to take the ball. ECU's getting the ball coming out of the locker room and is going to have potentially the ball here last to close out the 2nd quarter. This is a big defensive stand here for Tulsa.
You get 2 for 1. Up down 10, 24-14 when you fought your way back into it. If you Tulsa, and you look last week against Tulane relative to tonight, what did we say in the open? Fast start. They did that. Check. What did Harry say on the sidelines? Energy. They have that.
They got
check.
that.
He said they didn't want one game to beat them twice. Thus far, it does not look like it has. Javante Connor, gain of 3. Was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Allows you to run the ball, and they do just that. That's Marlon Gunn, gain of 10.
Here's your guy. Downhill. They're up to the line quickly.
Averaging 6.5 tonight. Hauser creased it, saw it slid. Again, the ball gets spotted where the slide starts. Still 2 timeouts remaining. They'll have to use one here. Or not.
Well, they realize they're getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
So that'll be another first down. That stops the clock. You surprised by this, that they're not trying to take a couple of shots?
A little bit. I think they took one right here. They took a timeout right here. They may try to take a shot or 2. Because there's enough time for them. They're still going to have 1 timeout left. There's enough time for them to get into field goal range.
And they've had Anthony Smith catch a 66-yarder and a 63-yarder getting behind the defense. Obviously, defense is going to line up differently towards the end of the half because they think the throw's coming, which is why they probably run the ball. But I'm surprised they weren't a little more aggressive here.
Yeah, so Tulsa on defense, you got to be able to make sure nothing gets behind you or over the top, and then you got to protect the sidelines as well.
So Anthony Smith, the big play receiver, as advertised tonight. I mean, he came out with 150 yards and 4 receptions in the first quarter.
Big explosive play down the sideline with the hitch and go, and then the big post, and he just does the rest, outruns the defender, created the separation for an easy pitch and catch down the field. And here we are at first down, 14 seconds remaining.
See how Hauser progresses here. Over the middle, wide open. Big hit. That's Petaway.
Ball
And
comes loose.
It's the Tulsa defenders that are down, and it was ruled incomplete.
Officials timeout.
Lento Smith.
Injured player on the defense. Please reset the game clock to 7 seconds.
Two Tulsa defenders end up running into each other as they're trying to tackle Petaway. They jar the ball loose and knock each other out.
They're trying to keep him down for a minute because you saw the severity of the hit. Interestingly enough, every time you see a receiver go over the middle of the field with that kind of hit, you're waiting to see the flag get thrown for targeting, but looking back at that,
No.
it was just kind of a big hit and some friendly fire. He takes the helmet right to the chest. It's Dax Collins. Gets up. That looked like the wind.
Yeah, that was a shot right to the midsection.
He's running off. Has to sit out of play. You saw him look back like he wanted to get right back out there. You see him pulling the pads off his chest. He's sucking wind right now. So Petaway couldn't hang on. 2nd and 10 now. Swing it out of the backfield. That's Engelman. Tries to stay up. Brought down by Robinson. So ECU had enough. Tulsa just ran off the field. But ECU saying they're staying. And Blake Harrell's down there saying that
Go to the locker room.
I mean, Tulsa took off.
They sure did.
So it looks like the elbow was down with 1 second remaining.
After discussion, that is the end of the first half. Time has expired.
Not sure what they were discussing there. It wasn't a first down. Nothing was going to stop the clock.
And then he made Tulsa come back out only to send him back in. Okay. That's one way to end an entertaining half. So ECU, a gauntlet in the first half, 364 yards. They're up 24-14. They'll get the kick to start the third quarter. Kevin Connors, EJ Manuel, and Sam Acho are in the studio. They'll get you all the halftime news coming up after the break. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. As you are watching the American Conference on ESPN, and you just watched an offensive juggernaut in the first half, 24-14. ECU on top of Tulsa. 369 total yards in the first half. Tom Luganville, Matt Berry, that is a season high for a first half this year for ECU. We said it in the open, quick start, get the offense going, and they've done that.
Well, listen, if they don't have a drop at the end there by Micah Tees for Tulsa going in for a potential score before half, we're having an entirely different conversation about the tone of this football game. So now East Carolina gets the ball on offense first. It is imperative that Tulsa forces a 3-and-out.
How about this for balance for ECU? They ran 50 ball plays in the first half, 25 runs, 25 passes. This is a fair catch by Kyler Pearson. As we take a look at tonight's game flow, brought to you by Progressive.
Brody Foley, excuse me, the H-back there just comes right through the gap here. A sneaky little token fake in the backfield in the tight end pop pass. Baylor Hayes, he started to get hot there in the second quarter, and then it's Anthony Smith on the corner post right here from Caden Hauser. Catches it across the field, and then his legs do the rest. So explosives for East Carolina, explosives for Tulsa as well.
It's going to be Marlon Gunn taking the snap. Check that, Mike Wright, backup quarterback, taking the snap. There's a penalty on the play. So they try to get Mike Wright involved. Marlon Gunn in the backfield. Hauser split out.
That's going to be a hold on the left tackle.
Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
That was Jason Tarpe.
Right there is your left tackle position. He's just going to get him hooked. Again, we talk about when you're blocking with your hands, you get those hands on the outside, you're in danger of getting called.
Hauser going to go on a wheel route backside. Incomplete. That was intended for Gunn out of the backfield. Elijah Green on the coverage as we check in with Harry.
Matt, I just caught up with Trey Land coming out of the locker room. I asked him what he told his team in the locker room, and he told me, he said the play doesn't care who makes it. He says they're still playing awful, in his words. He says he needs better quarterback play. He needs his receivers not to drop the ball. He said they're playing better than they did the first half, but if they don't get it together the second half, it's going to be much of the same.
Yeah, the drop ball at the end of the half, as Lugs alluded to, is huge because it changes the momentum. But if they get off the field here, they'll get the ball right back with a confident offense. And now it's going to be 3rd and 20. It looks as if they can get it done.
Talked about that 3-and-out opportunity, and not to mention you got East Carolina backed up here a little bit, so field positions at play as well.
The pressure on the play by Burnett and Johnson. So yeah, East Carolina kind of is what tripped them up this season. The penalties, the untimely penalties. They come out, they've got that play design ready to go. Mike Wright got called in holding. Now, whole drive's thrown off.
Whole drive's thrown off. Saw that happen at the end of the second quarter, too, as well. On the bubble screen, they got another holding call. They would have been in plus 15 territory, and it gets called back, forces a punt.
And that's going to be the stop Tulsa needed. We were discussing during halftime, we wondered if ECU popped them for a big one and it gets to 31-14, how much do they have coming back? But they get exactly what they needed to get the offense, and they're going to get good field position.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you could potentially get a return here, even if you don't, you fair catch this between the 40 and the 50, you're in business. And again, with the young quarterback, you're not backed up with the end zone crawling up your back. And this defensive pass rush, who hasn't really done anything for Tulsa for the entire first half, heating them up, led by Jaden Burnett along the defensive front, number 11 off the edge. That
was the first 3-and-out for ECU tonight. And a fair catch there at the 49-yard line. And, you know, you heard Trey Lamb say he needs better quarterback play. But Baylor Hayes in spots was really impressive for a redshirt freshman.
Well, he started to get hot a little bit there in the second quarter. Really struggled to connect and make some clean, accurate, easy underneath throws. That's why the quarterback was upset with him. Or excuse me, his coach was upset with him. But he didn't have a lot of help either. Had a lot of drops throughout the first half that could have generated more momentum, more explosive plays, and elevated his confidence.
We'll see how he fares to start the third quarter. And they're going to give it to their battering ram running back, Dominic Richardson, which, by the way, the ECU defense has been good containing him. Coming into the game, he averaged about 5 yards a carry. Tonight, he's just up over 3.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding in the run game with these guys up front. Tulsa's struggled to maintain those one-on-one blocks.
That pass batted back in a headsy play. Craig tipped it, and then Baylor did what he could to kind of swat it down and not cause a problem.
Yeah, that's a smart play. Don't make a bad play worse. Get the ball on the ground, live to play 3rd and 7.
Craig active tonight, had a sack earlier, and now a 3rd and 7. Hayes with time, finds the spot in the defense and fires one over the middle. Steptoe's been good tonight, but there's a flag down.
Holding. Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So much like ECU, a holding penalty is going to bring it back, negating the first down.
Cody Hornsby, your guard, and again, transfer coming in from Syracuse, and you create a negative play on 3rd and 7 where you got a really nice conversion. The quarterback seeing the field, delivers a strike, and here you are.
3rd and 17. Screen. And that is Steptoe, who's had a big night. I'm wondering they're going to go for it. They're keeping the offense out. That was a gain of 15. That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, and East Carolina's got to get lined up. Nobody in the middle of the field here.
Tegan Wilkes saved it, and Richardson for a loss. Steptoe got 15, and Sam Danka comes in a TFL on 4th down to get Tulsa off the field.
Well, East Carolina's late to line up, but when they do, they cover up all gaps. Doing a really good job, led by Danka, number 7 right there, splits the gap between the guard and the tackle right there, making the tackle in the backfield. I don't know if I like that play call. If you're going to run it there, let's run it and get downhill. Side-to-side lateral run there, struggling to hold up at the point of attack versus this ECU defense.
Defense averaging 8 TFLs a game. There goes Montgomery. He's off. Touchdown. It's an amazing what an effective run game can do.
See how close he is. Is he down before that ball crosses the plane?
It was kind of a bang-bang play.
Sure was. Tough to tell from that angle.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. That play is under further review.
All right, so they're going to stop and review this. Down the line is probably the only way you could detect it. Jerry McGinn hanging out with us again tonight as Montgomery for now a 51-yard touchdown. Jerry, it looks as if the extension is happening as the knee is touching.
Correct. So the ruling on the field is a touchdown. So replay is going to need that shot right down the line in order to overturn it. Right now, we're not seeing anything that would.
There's some technical difficulties there with Jerry, but I think he was beginning to say he's not sure they're going to see anything to overturn it.
Further review. Ruling on the field is upheld.
There you go.
Touchdown, East Carolina.
And again, that's just because you don't, it's got to be irrefutable evidence. If you don't have that, call's upheld.
Yep.
Great stuff by Jerry and great stuff by London Montgomery. 51-yard touchdown, 89 yards on the night. Third ECU tonight of 50-plus yards. As Mazzy is on for the extra point. It has been all about the big plays for ECU tonight. 260-pluses from Anthony Smith. And a guy that can slash it. London Montgomery takes it 51 yards. Pirates rolling.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
True story, on Saturdays when we're up on set doing halftimes, ESPN app always on.
Always.
Always, because got to keep track of all the good stuff going on out there. The good stuff happening right in front of us right now. Caden Hauser in this ECU offense. That 51-yard run, the longest of the season for ECU, as an onside kick is coming. They tried to get it in the gap, and the Tulsa player kind of bobbles it out of bounds. But they were trying. They did that last week against Tulane, and they nailed it.
And they did nail it. Trying to put this thing away and put the nail in the coffin on Tulsa, and Tulsa ready for it. And is now going to have terrific field position.
And I don't mind that call.
I don't either. I love the aggressiveness of the call.
He's like, look, we're going to put our foot down and see if we can get it done.
Jeremiah Ballard trying to secure that ball for Tulsa. But I love it. I love that.
I do too.
Because this is a team and a coaching staff that needs to see their group put people away.
And that's the true freshman Washington. He's had a good night kick return. He had about 133 yards on the night on return. He's getting him good field position. Now they're going to give him some running back. With Dominic Richardson kind of held in check. Down 31-14. See if he can get a spark anywhere. So 2nd and 1. Hayes. And that's what Trey Lamb's talking about. That's what's getting him fired up, talking to Harry and talking to his team. Those should be automatic.
Yeah, you've got a 3-man route combination, and your back is your last outlet. So he gets through the progression correctly, but his feet are all off platform. He sidearms the throw and throws it right in the dirt, and those are the gimmies. Those are the ones you got to have.
It's funny because he said the quarterback's not playing well. Up here in the booth, we've said we're impressed, but that's the stuff he's going to focus on to develop this player as the blitz is coming on 3rd and short, and they can't get the yard. So they got 9 yards on 1st down. Josh Benton came up, filled the gap, took down Dominic Richardson, and now they've got a punt.
Yeah, big number 23 comes from the backside, and what a fantastic tackle. In pursuit, great speed coming from the top of your screen. Drops him, actually for a loss.
Just 20 yards for the star running back tonight. A fair catch there at the 10 by Pearson. You know, we said at the open, and if it's a Thursday night football, it means East Carolina is going to be playing. So we're very familiar with this team for the last 3 weeks, and so we've kind of seen a little bit of everything from them. And this is the really good version.
Yes.
This is the kind of team that can scare the best in the American. And with their schedule coming up, Lugs, I noted in the open, they're well in this thing.
They absolutely are. Listen, they know they've got good athletes, and that they know they've been a player or two away. The BYU game was a great example of that last week versus Tulane, and they just got to get it all put together, and they're going to be a competitor down the stretch.
So TJ Engelman, it's going to be his turn. I would bet in their final 6 games, they were favored to win this one. I'd bet they're going to be favored in just about every game other than Memphis, which is November 15th.
Sure.
And the only one that could be squirrely would be at UTSA.
Yeah, and you got to, those last 2 are on the road for ECU, so they got to make sure to take care of business.
Whoa. We'll just let that one go.
Yeah.
We'll go to the next
That
play.
was incomplete. I'm wondering if he ended up throwing it backwards.
All right, so there's a look at the win probability of the remaining schedule. See, I told you that UTSA one. That UTSA's at home.
That's sneaky.
Tough.
Yeah.
We've got them in a couple of weeks against Tulane at UTSA. What are we going to do not being in Greenville?
I don't know. Great question.
Over the middle, Hauser, big pop, incomplete. That was good defense. Tyler Johnson couldn't hang on. Devin Robinson popped him cleanly. And Tulsa's defense gets a much-needed stop.
Yeah, I wish Caden Hauser could have thrown this just a little bit early, but I thought Johnson was also very lax with his focus and with his hands. He turned ahead, didn't secure the football, was looking for the safety, and the safety was coming anyway, so you might as well catch it.
Yeah, he knew he was about to get popped. Kind of a stinger punt there. They're going to get the ball right around where they did last time. Good field position for Tulsa to see if they can claw their way back into this game. 38-yard punts. So after the touchdown for ECU, unable to do anything else, can Tulsa capitalize? We'll find out.
We're waiting for this moment, dog. Game day, and we got something to prove every single play. Bigger than ever, we back.
Oh my! What a grab!
We on a whole nother level. Bigger than ever, we back. Woo. Okay. We back. Okay. Bigger than ever, we back. Wait on it, put it.
Okay, fine, I'll watch. What a weekend we have. Starting tomorrow night, Louisville and Miami. And you've got the nooner, LSU and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a favorite in an SEC game for the first time since the late 70s. And I love Ole Miss, Georgia, because I really want to know about both teams. And y'all want to know if Auburn gets up 17-0 against the Dogs, how that game shakes out. But they didn't, and Georgia came back and got the win on the road at Jordan-Hare as Zion Booker for 9 yards on first down.
Great weekend of college football ahead of us.
I mean, ESPN is here.
Yep. Sure is.
I'm telling you, and look, some of those other games, this is the time of season where you're going to really find out back half of the season, middle to end of October. These conference games are so big. We're seeing one tonight for ECU to stay in the conversation.
Well, the longer it goes, the more tired you are, the more beat up you are. What type of depth do you have to run the gauntlet?
And that's a fumble on the snap. And I think Tulsa had a body there first. You never know what goes on at the bottom of the, well, you do know what goes on at the bottom of the pile. It's not good. And the injured player, Josiah Robinson, is down.
Officials timeout. East Carolina injury.
That was Julian Roberts, number 84, the tight end for Tulsa, who made a tremendous hustle play to recover that ball.
But again, we see them yard and short.
Yep.
Last time it was a penalty, negated a first down. 4th and 1, they get stopped, and here they had it 2nd and 1, and they fumble the snap.
Just keep shooting themselves in the foot.
See Robinson get up, one of those defensive linemen, 5th-year senior from Michigan State. They've been rotating some extra bodies in here tonight. Trying to keep some fresh legs going into the 4th quarter. Now 3rd and 6 after the fumbled snap. Richardson. They're going to give him the first down. Looks like he got 6 on 6. Keon Merrill brings him down. Another one of those passes knocked down. And Hayes isn't the biggest kid. They list him at 6 feet. That's probably on the touch side of generous.
Yeah, touch side of generous. And the shorter you are, the more ability you have to change arm angles to get the ball around people as opposed to over or through people. That time, Raheem Craig comes off the edge with a great first step, gets his hands up.
Second time he's done that tonight.
Yep.
Quick out, caught. Grayson Tempest. Gain of 7. This is a must drive for Tulsa to stay in this game. You've got the field position, you got to drive working. You're down 17. You fought your way back early.
And you played decent defense in this. Outside of a play, you played pretty good defense in the 3rd quarter.
Blitz coming, but he gets off the pass. What a play by Baylor Hayes to get it to Zion Booker. You know, we've been talking all night as Danka nearly got him. Like, some of the easy throws that he's missed are bad, but the good is good.
Boy, he navigated the pocket really well, kept his eyes downfield, went through the progression, was able to check down on the underneath crossing route. Really good execution from the young quarterback.
Now they are going warp speed, flag down far side, incomplete.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
That's twice they've called that tonight, Matt. And it was the first time he was in the kicking game on their punt team.
So moves him back to 2nd and 10. Again, the big play guy tonight for the Golden Hurricane, Brody Foley, the tight end. Can they get him here today, right now? Split outside in the slot. Hayes read it, ran it. Damian Wilson on the tackle after 3. So in field goal range, Tulsa needs to come away with points. Hayes again sacked. That time Preston Carr.
This is just a bust right here. When you have that and you don't block the A gap, which is a gap to each side of the center, your quarterback has no chance. Preston Carr not expecting not to be dealt with at the point of attack, and as a free run at the quarterback.
46-yard, the season long for Morgan this year, 47. Had 2 of those against Oklahoma State. Good. So they get the points they needed as Seth Morgan bangs it through from 46 yards, and it's back down to a 14-point game here midway through the third quarter. You told us he's comfortable with the plus 35. That was right on the line. On the 30, so about 5 yards to spare, and he had 5 yards to spare to kick it.
Easily.
His career-long 52s was at Tarleton State, or at Tarleton, rather. So we've seen it come back before. They did so in the first half. By the way, worth pointing out, I said this earlier, that East Carolina is only averaging 15.5 points a game on defense given up. They hadn't let them score after they got those 14, but now it's 17. So still the defense playing a good ball game, all things considered. They've only given up 252 yards.
Well, and Trey Lamb, the head coach at Tulsa right now, has got to be just so frustrated because they're finding ways to screw it up. They're finding ways to put themselves behind the sticks, make it harder, and still in this ball game.
Pearson will fair catch that in the end zone for a touchback out to the 25-yard line. College Game Day live at the University of Georgia's number 9 Bulldogs hosting number 5 Ole Miss. All kicks off 9 a.m. Eastern ESPN. Former Penn State head coach James Franklin's going to join the crew live on set for an exclusive interview. We have not heard. That'll be at 11 a.m. Eastern, that interview with Franklin. We have not heard from him since he was dismissed last week. So Game Day's going to get him. Look forward to hearing what he has to say. I would imagine, unless he doesn't want to be, because he's getting paid good money, not to have to be, but be interested to see what his next move is, because certainly there are going to be some jobs opening that would want James Franklin as their head coach. That's Montgomery. He's been the hot hand after the big run at a gain of 5. I mean, you look as ECU gets back to the line of scrimmage quick and they're keeping it on the ground. You look at a job like Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
The energy that James Franklin would bring to a Virginia Tech.
Public announcement of all of the investment that they're putting now into football, $260 million. Remember, James Franklin coached at Maryland, very familiar with the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia, tri-state area, the state as a whole.
You know, contrary to popular belief, Jerry Neuheisel is not the interim at UCLA. That is Tim Skipper. But certainly there's going to be interest in that job. I could see him going out west, maybe for a fresh start. UCLA would love to have a guy like James Franklin. So they're going to mark him inches short.
I think it's a good spot. That was a good open field tackle from Tulsa right there.
I'm going to surprise you here. I don't hate this call. You're inches with Montgomery in the backfield. Defense is playing well. You're up 14.
But you're in the shotgun.
And then, well, that's my football pet peeve.
And you're right.
Never a doubt. There's some things in football that drive me nuts.
That's it.
Oh.
That's number 1?
Number 1. There's actually another one. I'll fill you in on a minute. But the shotgun, when you need an inch and you voluntarily take yourself 5 yards behind the ball.
Yeah.
Pet peeve number 2, when the offense fumbles the ball out of bounds and it's an automatic touchback for the defense. Like, why? Why? Like, who's to say the defense was going to recover that fumble?
Right. You don't know.
You don't know. So you just lose the possession. You could penalize them, make them go back to the...
Sure.
But the defense just gets the ball. That's it for tonight. Back to the game. Hauser brought down. What a great rush by Jaden Burnett. First in the American in sacks That'll be his 7th. He's 8th in the nation. He's one of the best sackers in the country.
He's going to come off the edge. He's had at least a half a sack in every game that he's played in this year. He just gets low, runs the loop, and takes care of business for a negative play. Haven't been a lot of negative plays for ECU on offense tonight.
In fact, that was the first one in 63 plays. How about that?
Wow.
There was not much space for Hauser to fit that into Mangrum because Lento was all over him, and that was a great catch.
Fantastic catch, and also the only place that ball could have been placed.
And now 2 TFLs in 65 plays. It was Byron Turner.
You had to say it.
And now as we hit the end of the third quarter or towards the end of it, you wonder, because again, we've seen them 3 weeks in a row. We know their tendencies. How fast do they keep going? They're running the ball. They're moving the chains. Do they continue to go at their tempo speed, or do they get big chunk runs, continue to move the ball and the clock and the chains?
Well, it's something that we talked about 3 weeks ago right here, where they were in control, they were running the football, yet they were still going at light speed.
They light-speeded one there on 3rd and short. Crowd antsy. They didn't like I'm wondering if it was something with the spot on the prior play. Or maybe even the spot on that play, but they're not happy.
Well, the players are all looking up at the Jumbotron, and they're right. They believe that that ball should have been advanced at least another yard.
Let's see if they did enough to get it here. That was Nakai Johnson on Engelman.
Not where the line judge is at.
If you think they were displeased before, wait till these chains come out. No, they marked him short.
The ruling on the field is that the runner is short of the line to gain. That play is under further review.
So a couple of spots that were marked short of the line to gain. And this one's going to get reviewed.
Unfortunately, this isn't the one that needs to be reviewed. It's the previous play.
So we're going to show you both. We're going to show you the 3rd down play. They're reviewing the 4th, but this is the one where ECU thought they had enough. And that was a first down.
That's a first down.
That's a first down. So they spotted it short, forward progress, when he was still moving the ball. Hard to tell from that angle.
I think that the call in the field will be upheld there, but it was the previous play.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The runner is short of the line to gain, therefore it's a turnover on down. First down.
But if you're going to review that one, why not look at the other?
I have no idea.
Okay. Maybe we'll pick Jerry McGinn's brand on the other side. That's the one they stopped them short. It was the 3rd down in question. Either way, Tulsa's ball. So 31-17, ECU stopped on downs. We have taken a look. We've been told on the third down play. I want you to take a look at this. The runner's knee goes down shy of the first down line. They blew it dead with the knee down. So we have a... All right, so that was the fourth down. Here's the third down call. Right there, the knee was down. So that was the proper play there. So that's why they called him short, and then they got the stop on fourth down. And it's already third down for Tulsa. Big play here for Tulsa if they want to get back in this one. Under 2 in the third quarter. Hayes. Missed throw. Intended for Booker. And Trey Lamb's made the decision the rest of the game. And barring anything deep in their own territory, it's go for it time.
This is what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
And Samuel Danka, number 7 for ECU, said his name an awful lot tonight. Johnny on the spot right there on the crossing route. Let's see what Tulsa comes up with here on fourth down.
Blitz coming. Wide open. There he is again. Brody Foley. Has that tight end been big tonight or what? That is a gain of 36.
Well, and this is a coverage bust big time by number 15, Jordy Lowry for ECU. As Brody Foley goes down, and they're double teaming the slot receiver. That's step toe number 7. Good recognition that time by the young quarterback in Bailey Hayes.
4 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown tonight for the tight end. There he is again. I mean, this guy's a Jason Witten starter kit.
And another great throw from Baylor Hayes right there to Brody Foley. This is a great combination tonight for this offense.
And out of nowhere, Tulsa's on the doorstep of making this 31-24 as Allen brought down by Carr. Under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Baylor Hayes just made a terrific throw there to put him in position. Somebody coming in with the heat right in his kitchen. Stood in there and delivered a strike.
How big was that fourth down stop a minute ago from the Tulsa defense? Hayes. Ball comes out. They're going to mark him down before it does. Tried to slither his way towards the end zone and into it. Riddle comes up with the tackle, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We've had some bizarre stuff happen in this half. Wow. We got a game in Greenville. Come back for the fourth.
Welcome back to Greenville, where East Carolina leads Tulsa 31-17. Coach, you talked about playing 4 quarters, finishing games out. How do you do that right here?
Yeah, no quarters out. We got to have a little no quarter here ourselves. Obviously, got a tough challenge here on the 1 yard line, but we got to be better in short yardage situations, including this one and the 4th down on offense. So let's go finish this thing off the right way.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, so first things first to start the 4th quarter. You heard him talking about a stop. 3rd and goal as Tulsa tries to make it a 1-score game. Matt Berry, Tom Luganville. You just heard from Harry, Jerry McGann, and a quarterback push up the middle. And a touchdown it is. It was Stephen Kittleman, the 3rd-string quarterback. And on the 20th anniversary of the Bush push between Notre Dame and USC, I love how they think that started with Philly in the that happened 20 years ago, one of the great college football games we've ever seen.
Yeah, in South Bend, no doubt.
So why do the Eagles get credit for it?
I don't know. Tim Hardman, number 10, the big defensive tackle that time, doing the pushing.
So here we go. Extra point away. It is 31-24. Remember, after London Montgomery's touchdown, it was 31-14. And here at the start of the 4th quarter, Tulsa's fought their way back again. And it's because the player you're seeing right there, the redshirt freshman Baylor Hayes, and you saw him give his buddy a dap a minute ago, Brody Foley, the tight end.
Been a hot connection tonight, man. They were in critical moments is when they've been able to hook up, make plays, and explosive plays, plays that have changed momentum, plays that have flipped field position, and then they've been able to take care of business when they've got inside the red area. And finally, and this is a team that Coach Trey Lamb was not pleased with their inability to create explosive plays on offense throughout the entirety of the first half of the season. They've created several here tonight, and they've been big plays resulting in points.
Career night for Foley, 123 yards and 5 receptions, ties a career high, and he's been the difference tonight.
You look at that, drops, 5 of them for Tulsa, and a couple of them were really critical.
The one before the half.
Yes.
But yet they're still in this game. Foley continues to be one of the big play tight ends in the country. 5 25-yard-plus receptions, 3rd most. So now it's answer time for ECU. Maybe got a little bit comfortable up 31-14, and now they're in one.
And they're in one, and now they need the defense or the offense to come to play, and get off to a fast start. We've talked about their explosives, their ability to dominate on 1st and 2nd down. That's exactly who they are and how their identity plays out. But this is when they're going to need it most, is right here. Don't take your foot off the gas if you're East Carolina.
Haven't seen much of Anthony Smith since his 2 big 60-plus yard receptions. That's going to fall incomplete on 1st down.
Did a late shift right there, did the direct snap, end up handing it off to Caden Hauser, and they're trying to leak one out to Desario Riles, the tight end.
And Jaden Burnett there.
With the pressure once again, Matt, you said his name a ton tonight. Big number 11 off the edge for Tulsa.
No turnovers tonight. Hauser just settles his feet, just pops it over the middle. Effective at that. That's Riles. And he's going to get the 1st down for ECU. So a full 4th quarter to play. We'll go back to Montgomery, who's been the better of the backs tonight. He's going to pick up 5 on 1st down.
I've heard you say that an awful lot tonight. 5 on 1st down, 7 on 1st down, 4 on 1st down. That's been a reoccurring theme, Matt. success on those early downs for this offense. We've talked about it all night.
The rushing offense, 203 yards. They're averaging 5.5 per carry. It's going to go up now because it's London Montgomery again, brought down by Zach Williams. He'll go over 100 on the night. 14 carries, 110 yards for Montgomery.
And what a tackle that was by Williams. He doesn't make that tackle. It's a foot race to the end zone.
Hauser settled down to Connor. Check that, Riles. Second catch for him on this possession and a gain of 14. An impressive drive. ECU string it together. It's almost like a wake-up call for ECU. They see Tulsa get back in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
They got to really start leaning on this Tulsa team. Test Tulsa's depth for the duration of 4 quarters. That's where you could win this thing out if you're East Carolina.
Time for Hauser, and again just dumps it to the middle of the field. Second time we've seen that exact play with Riles over the middle. Third reception on this drive alone.
Tulsa's playing a lot of zone defense, trying to cover down. And right now, East Carolina's got a great feel. They're just locating voids and soft spots in the coverage. Caden Hauser picking them apart.
Over 500 yards of offense tonight. 75 plays. Mike Wright back in the game.
There's a slot to the bottom of your screen here.
Now he'll motion in at quarterback and take the snap. And a big hit there by Coney and Alexander. The 2 linebackers pop right after 2. You know, it's this game's taken a long time, but it's interesting because of the tempo of it. You can eat yardage quickly, and that's an interesting play call. Right, the snap, the hand to Hauser, the toss to Mangrum.
Well, you can eat a bunch of yardage and not eat a bunch of clock. We've seen that tonight.
So now third down. This is rinse and repeat for what I just said about Tulsa. You need points no matter what. Don't get yourself in any issue to where you don't at least come away with a field goal.
There's no question about it. And this is an area of the field that throughout the season has plagued East Carolina with some questionable decisions that have led to turnovers. Caden Hauser's got to be very careful right here.
Incomplete. Bounces off Mangrum. And that hung up there just long enough. But here comes the field goal unit, Mazzy.
Well, that ball came in hot, man. I mean, that thing was 100 miles an hour underneath on the crossing route to Mangrum.
That's where you don't need the fast, maybe a changeup.
Yeah, just drop it in.
Already made one tonight, good from 36. This one 32 to push it back to a 2-score game. Got the points they needed. So now 34-24. ECU able to come away with something. Now Tulsa's got to score twice. Entertaining, interesting game tonight in Greenville. Pirates on top. Matt Barry, Tom Luganbill, Harry Lyles back with you. 34-24 East Carolina. Statistically, this game's kind of an anomaly in that 78 plays for ECU, 61 for Tulsa, 520 yards for ECU, 315 for Tulsa. But the time of possession, 25 minutes, 7 seconds for ECU, and just 9 minutes for Tulsa. It's been a bizarre game.
Absolutely.
It's still a 10-point game, and there's still a whole fourth quarter really to play.
So the last 2 drives of this game have been the 2 longest drives of the entire game.
Washington lets that go to the end zone for a touchback. And then you look conversely, ECU has not put together one of those drives where they go 10 plays, 82 yards, 6 minutes off the clock. Their touchdown drives have been 35 seconds.
Right.
2 minutes, 47 seconds, 2 minutes, 13 seconds, and 9 seconds.
And guess who's on the field a lot? Your defense.
That's right.
43.
You look here, 8 plays, 65 yards with a touchdown.
First down, Tulsa.
So we'll see if Baylor can make a play again. The redshirt freshman Baylor Hayes, the transfer in from ETSU, came over with his new head coach Trey Lamb from ETSU. It's been an up and down night for him, but the up is really good.
I've been impressed with his poise, his decision making.
And there he's just forced because the pass rush gets rid of it, falls incomplete. Justin Benton calling a lot of new names tonight, at least from a depth perspective. They said they wanted to rotate in more defensive guys so they're not gassed in the fourth quarter.
Especially in that front, Matt, and they've done it too, because Justin Benton's a guy that's listed 3 on the depth chart, and they're rotating a lot of guys through here.
Hayes has one-on-one coverage up top. Flag's going to be thrown. That was intended for step-toe. Jordy Lowry is going to be the guilty party.
Pass interference. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, you see the grab on the jersey. He tries to armbar him there with his right arm as Lowry then tugs and grabs right on the number of Step-Toe's jersey. It's a good call. Officials all over it.
So the penalty moves the chains for Tulsa. Drive continues. And a nice gain there for Richardson on first down. Haven't really got him going tonight. Wilk brings him down. It was a gain of 6.
3 more defensive linemen, to your point earlier, Matt, coming on the field right now for East Carolina. Just rotating that front through, trying to stay as fresh as they can.
There's a lot of football left to play here at Dowdy-Ficklin. They're going to try that toss play again, and that's a good job by Richardson just getting something. And it was enough for a first down. You see here Damian Wilson in the backfield. Had him for a TFL. Was able to get away from it. And got tackled forward for the first down.
Yeah, that's a really nice job, just getting some positive yardage out of what looked like was going to be a negative.
Drops. Zion Booker had that punt pop off his chest early in the game. That pass popped right off his chest. That's 6 drops tonight.
What seems to be contagious. Hitting just about every position group.
Play fake. Pressure down. Danka, Wilson combo. That's the 4th sack of the night for the Pirates. And that forces them into a 3rd and 15.
This is what you're going to see right there. They set this up with the defensive front coming to the inside. And 7, Samuel Danka loops around. They create an open gap. Nice design up front.
What can they get back on the 15? Flag down. That was Booker, and that was Riddle and Danka again. It's going to be a penalty on Tulsa, backing them up even further.
Pass interference. Offense, number 80. That penalties decline. It's 4th down.
All right, so Foley, who's had a big night receiving it, got there for offensive pass interference. Blake Carroll declines it, and the offense is staying out there. 4th and 15. Hayes was going to wind up and chuck it, and he probably should have. Ryan Roseboro, another one of those depth guys we haven't called all night, comes up with the 7th sack of the night. All right, so let's regroup here. You see ECU celebrating on that sack, which would have been the 5th one of the night.
On the field of a fumble recovered for a touchdown is under further review.
Let's take a look at this play. You're going to say there's a forced fumble on the sack on 4th down, saying it was picked up and returned for a touchdown by J.D. Lampley.
I mean, we've reached peak Thursday status.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find a view of it. I mean, I'm assuming head counts as down, right?
Yeah, I think his entire body is down.
He was down
sure.
for an hour. Like, I don't even know. I don't know. That's a bad call.
It really is. It's clear that the play is dead.
It's a bad call.
Yeah, the play is dead. The player's down. The ball's laying there. Everybody else except for one individual is standing around knowing it's a change of possession.
I mean, that's not even close. I don't want to get...
After further review, the runner was down prior to fumbling the football.
Really?
It's 1st down, East Carolina at the 41-yard line. Media timeout.
Okay, so this time we're going to take the commercial break because it was always a sack. ECU gets the ball.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. And the quarterbacks in this conference, Luke's
on fire.
I mean, Blake Horvath, what he did last week against Temple. You saw Retzloff in there. I mean, this is a league. Byron Brown. I mean, what a league of quarterbacks. The guys we're seeing tonight, Caden Hauser.
Sure. And this young one for Tulsa is going to be a good player as well. Brendan Lewis at Memphis has accounted for 11 total touchdowns in the last 3 games.
I mean, it really is. When you've got 12 teams in your league still in it. There's Marlon Gunn. I do want to correct a stat from earlier. Time of possession in this game, 26 minutes, 37 seconds for Tulsa, and now going to be up over 25 for ECU. So time of possession, virtually dead even. My guess you're going to see a steady diet of that ground game.
Well, you want to see a steady diet of the ground game and then couple it with just a little bit of the foot off the pedal.
There he goes. Gain of 13 for Gunn. Williams and Green on the tackle. So they're doing one part of it. They're leaning on the ground. The other half
next to you, I'm over here
I'm
going,
watching Luke. He's like, slow it down, slow it down.
Slow it down. You're in control. You're controlling the line of scrimmage. Been really impressed with this offensive line for East Carolina. Been able to run the football effectively. Did so a week ago against Tulane for the most part as well. And they've been really effective on first and second down, which has allowed the speed of the offense to operate.
242 yards on the ground tonight. Hauser's going to add some more. Good one-man miss, and that's a good run by Hauser. Another one of the good quarterbacks in this league. Gain of 14.
Good call for the quarterback draw. Nice timing, good area of the field for it. Had it blocked up, and then you leave Hauser to make that one man that's unblocked miss, and he does.
So you would like to see them pitch a tent here for a couple of minutes before they try to punch it in.
Well, you got 15 seconds on the play clock. Snap it with 2.
Gunn trying to shift his way to the left side. Hardiman there. Bring it up 2nd and goal.
I mean, to your point, this thing started with just over 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and all they've essentially done is run the football, yet only 2 minutes have gone off the clock.
It's been a night. It's been one of those. Put this one in the archives. That's Gunn, man. He is a bruiser brought down by Alexander. Gain of 5. He's going to go up over 50 yards. Injured Tulsa player.
Injury on the defense.
So Devin Robinson is down. 3rd and goal coming up. We'll step aside while they take a look at the injury. Devin Robinson will return after this.
Here's the third Saturday in October, Alabama and Tennessee.
Just another one of those Saturdays in the SEC on ABC. Returning to play here. ECU trying to put this thing away. 3rd and goal, 5.5 to play. Gun in the backfield. It's going to be Hauser. And it's going to be Hauser who scores. So back to 17, which is where they had this thing in the 3rd quarter. Staved off a comeback from Tulsa, and barring any real Thursday night weirdness happening, ECU is in a good spot to pick up their 2nd conference win of the season.
And I like how East Carolina picked their spots to use Caden Hauser as the runner right there. They double team the defensive tackle, lead with the back. You've got quarterback lead for a touchdown, and you're right, Matt. Kick this thing through. Just play defense.
So Hauser, 2 TD passes, 1 TD run, and man, did they choose some clock on that one. 8 plays, 41 yards, 3 minutes, 13 seconds.
Are you just having fun with me now?
I am. That's all we can do at this point, Luke.
Yeah, we're up here trying to do our Thursday night math on working that clock and draining that clock a little bit more between each play.
And again, the schedule in terms of the American schedule, because there's some tough games in there, it's favorable in that they don't see South Florida. They don't see Navy.
Yep.
They have, on a pooch kick there, just shy of the 30. They've got Temple up next. They get 16 days off to rest and recuperate. And when they come back, they're going to have this rushing attack again that they'll take to Philly and Temple to see if they can keep this thing going, Luke.
Well, and this rushing attack is 4 strong, and you've got to have that depth down the stretch. As you get worn down, you get banged up a little bit. The thing about East Carolina on offense is these 4 running backs, whoever's in the game, there's no drop off in production. Very rare.
261 yards rushing for them tonight. And we talked about that in the open and really throughout the game, that when you see an offense that runs 86 plays and has 561 yards of total offense, sure, the bulk of it really is, I mean, you're gonna get a lot through the air, but the fact that they've got 300 yards passing and 261 yards rushing, this is a balanced attack when in its flow.
Well, and the flow is dictated on the early down success. We've talked about that through the entire night. They were able to effectively run the football. How many times did you say, you know, Montgomery, Dunn, these guys are just getting it done. Excuse me, Marlon Gunn. And they're on the ground, and it's 5 yards, it's 7 yards, it's 8 yards all night long.
It's 48 carries for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a good throw from Baylor Hayes on 3rd down to step toe. So 1st down, Golden Hurricane. Quick shot to the outside. The tight end's been active tonight, Foley. He's been a big play waiting to happen there. He gets 3.
They've really got something going on between Baylor Hayes and this tight end, Brody Foley. Something they can build on, and he's a real mismatch problem. If they can get the other targets to start consistently catching the football and helping out their young quarterback, there's some makings here to a dangerous offense.
And that's really the first time tonight that we've seen Richardson be able to spring himself loose and a gain of 13. He's kind of their workhorse, and ECU's defense has done a tremendous job slowing him down tonight.
Yeah, he's difficult to tackle. Excellent contact balance, as you saw there, getting to the outside.
Hayes Can run it if he wants. He does. Cuts back across. He's going to get the first down and more. How about Baylor Hayes with his legs? He started on one side of the field, slicked his way through the other, got a key block from his running back, and goes for 24.
Gave me a Fran Tarkenton feel. Oh, you like that one?
Tarkenton.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to go more Jake Plummer.
Okay. Oh, Jake the Snake. I like it. All right.
We want to do a QB comparison when the video wasn't grainy for the audience.
Yeah, that's right. Standard definition.
That's right. Also a Sun Devil. Richardson. Up the gut. Don't blink. Tulsa threatening to score after a gain of 13. Nothing there. So Allen on the carry. Check that Richardson again. Loss of 1. Second and goal. Approaching the 2-minute timeout. ECU is going to use one of their timeouts. Didn't like the look on defense.
East Carolina, they're first. 30 seconds.
I think they're just trying to regroup here, take a little bit of a breath after that long scramble and run and conversion from Baylor Hayes. Hey, listen, if we're gonna play good defense here, let's make them earn it. Let's not get tired of have our tongues dragging, be out of gap, and make a mistake.
24-yard rush by Hayes, 13-yard rush by Ridge. It's been the running game on this drive to get him down, able to try to get this thing closer as we approach the 2-minute timeout. Coming up on SportsCenter after the game, E.J. Manuel joins the show to talk Louisville and how they can upset second-ranked Miami. Plus the 40-year-olds having fun tonight. Steelers Bengals. Chalk one up for the late 70s, early 80s kids. The Dodgers taking a commanding 3-0 lead in the NLCS. Shea Cornett, still a SportsCenter anchor, takes over First Take in November. Congratulations to Shea. Trevor Scales will be along with her. Option look, pitch out, Pirates there. How about that for defensive recognition by Craig and Wilk?
Well, two of the best players on that defense, and Raheem Craig's been outstanding tonight. We said his name multiple times, making a play, leveraging the ball. Good tackle.
That is the 10th TFL for ECU. Can their red zone defense show up one more time? 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Back half of the season, here we come, marching towards the national championship game. Look at the offensive output tonight. It'll be a 3rd down and goal for Tulsa. Hayes floats to his right, pressured, back across his body, incomplete. He's gonna bring up 4th down. Josiah Robinson flushed him out of the pocket, chased him all the way down. And they're gonna kick the field goal.
Yep, kick the field goal here, come right back with the onside kick attempt.
You gotta get the scores anyway.
Gotta get points, yep.
So 26-yard attempt. Right down the middle. I'll tell you this, if you're a Tulsa fan, you're still tuned into this one. I've enjoyed our conversations with Trey Lamb.
Absolutely.
In our meetings, and then tonight before the game, listening to him on the sidelines tonight. This is a good young head football coach that's going to get this thing going in the right direction. And I believe he has his quarterback that he can do it with.
He does, and the kid's only going to get better and better and better. The more he sees, the more he's going to be able to handle. They'll be able to put more onto his plate. This is a really young staff, but it's not just young. It's a staff that has come up the hard way, right? High school ranks, FCS, Division II. They've worked themselves up through levels of success that have led to an FBS job. And you can say the same thing about Blake Harrell at East Carolina. All of these guys coached at lower level division football programs and worked their way up. So you start to give guys like this a few resources, don't be surprised with positive results.
I think Justin Moore, the AD at Tulsa, nailed it. For a job like this, you have to go get a young FCS coach, bring him up, let him have a job, and go see what you. I think they nailed it. I'm excited to see what he can do with this job as Carson Zilmer on for the onside kick. ECU has their hands team. And a timeout, ECU.
Timeout. East Carolina. They're second.
I'm going to ask you about a rule now in the NFL where you have to declare your intentions for an onside kick. Well, what the hell's the point of that? Right. Sfida, you're the big NFL guy in the booth. You do Monday Night Football with Joe Buck. Hey, guys.
Hey, just let you know.
Just want to let you know, we're about to kick an onside kick.
I declare.
Right. By the way, we're going to do a flea flicker.
By the way,
yeah,
the timing of that timeout right there just put Tulsa in a position where they can no longer kick it over the middle of the field now. That ball's either going right or left.
It's a great use of timeout.
It was a great use, and at the timing of it, because the kid ended up continuing the action of the kick. And Seth Morgan.
Maybe, well, they declared it like in the NFL. We know what they're doing. All right, so we'll see what they decide to do after the timeout.
Carson Zilmer, another kicker on the field, 2 kickers on the field.
How many onside kicks do they have? Well, went up the middle, and we have flags.
Went up the middle, and East Carolina had 2 more defenders in the middle of the field.
And we've got starting to get chippy now down there. I don't blame them. 3 hours plus. 3 hours, 45 minutes. Yet to your point, you see the blocker. I mean, they 70. Barker took him out. Zilmer was on the business end of that one. There's a summit at midfield. Let's bring in our rules analyst, Jerry McGinn. He speaks fluent official What might they be doing here, Jerry?
So Matt, they may be looking at possible targeting, but I don't see targeting on this call. I believe it's a legal hit. The kicker went more than 5 yards, and the player just came up to block him. So I think they're going to pick the flag up.
But what, I mean, okay, I'll just be blunt. Why is it taking so long? So there's a look at the hit.
So the kicker is protected.
Clearly the center judge there believes. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you, Jerry. Is that is the center judge looking at that as if the kicker is?
So he's looking at the kicker that he's defenseless, but he has gone more than 5 yards, and he's going for the ball.
Okay.
Jerry, stay with me for a second. I asked how could this possibly be taking this long?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. They're speaking to replay right now, so replay should stop it. Someone should make an announcement that what the flag is for, whether it's for targeting, but there should be an announcement.
I've really never seen anything like this, ever.
So you do have number 7 launching, but he does launch into the chest of the kicker.
Yeah, number 70 there.
The ruling on the field is a recovery by East Carolina. There is no foul for the hit on East Carolina number 70. It's first down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good hit. It was.
So chalk one up for the football guys.
I don't know if you could afford me.
Jerry's been great with us tonight. It's Jackson Barker, rather, that laid the hit. I mean, officials have a tough job, but Luke, there's times where...
Well, that was close to 5, if not over 5 minutes of real time. For a call, as Jerry looked at it, he said, well, the kicker's beyond 5 yards, so he's not defenseless. He can take the hit. It's not targeting. Boom, let's go.
All right, so we've been saying a moment, we've been talking about really all night, how 12 teams are still in this conference race because of some matchups that are going to be coming. We know East Carolina still has Memphis. They'll move up to 2-1 tonight in league. Army outside looking in. They're 2-2 in league with already 2 losses.
And one of the losses to East Carolina.
But FAU 2-1. You see the undefeated pack there, Navy, Memphis, South Florida, Tulane. We have Memphis, Navy on Thanksgiving night. And Tulsa will use all of their timeouts on this drive. They just used 1. They have 2 left. So the best chance to win the league, I think it's going to come down right to the end. They've got Memphis right now. Now, we haven't put our eyes on Memphis yet. Again, we call them last game of the season, Thanksgiving night. We have seen South Florida. We called the opener against Boise State. Yep. And that is a good-looking team.
Well, that's what I was going to say. South Florida and Memphis, and you talk to coaches across this league, they'll tell you when you look at South Florida and Memphis in person, they look different than everybody else. Body types, length, depth, it's a different look.
One of the coaches said he was going to stop coming down and watching the Memphis and South Florida pregame because they walk by and they're like, oh, God, that doesn't look like us. Ryan Silverfield doing a remarkable job there at Memphis again. You know, they had Seth Hennigan at quarterback last year, Rock Taylor, a lot of talent. Mario Anderson, the running back. And you're thinking Seth Hennigan now. He was just a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you going to do to replace that? And they got Lewis now. He's doing just as much.
Started at Colorado, moved on to Nevada, right? Now he's there at Memphis, and he's playing his best football of his career.
Memphis got the win against Arkansas. October 25th. Game day implications. I mean, that's going to be a fun football game. A collision of two of the titans in this league. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a great time.
If they go unscathed to that point. It's a week away. First things first this weekend. Mazey's going to attempt a 56-yard field goal. Career high 52. And then they get under center. That's Jeter.
East Carolina. They're second. 30 seconds.
I like that call by Blake Harrell, just trying to see if he could get a freebie.
Yeah, game's over if they do.
Absolutely.
So what's he do now?
Not much.
4th and 3. You pin him, or you just run Marlon Gunn up the middle.
Could run Marlon Gunn, but if you don't give it, obviously you're giving up field position. If you could pin him and put him inside the 10 or 15, it's a long way to go, and you've really put the pressure on him for 2 scores.
Offense is back out there.
That's right, with Mike Wright and your guy Gunn.
Gunn 14 carries, 60 yards tonight. London Montgomery 16 carries, 125 yards. It's going to be Mike Wright, and he's going to be held short. So Hudson Ball, the first one there, no gain. We're out of timeouts. We're out of commercial breaks. We got 1:23 left. We believe this game is on its way to ending.
At some point. East Carolina, just keep them in bounds, keep the ball in front of you, and tackle. That's your 3 mandates.
And we will take you right to kickoff of Louisville, Miami tomorrow night. We won't. There's a lot of programming before that. Zion Booker to the sideline, gain of 3. That will be a good one tomorrow night in the ACC.
I think it's going to be
Louisville's
fantastic.
got the talent to get someone.
Well, Louisville's got tremendous skill. Colin Lacey and Chris Bell on the outside are terrific. Miller Moss has been really, really good. What they've got to do is come up with a way of getting the run game going. Duke Watts and Isaac Brown been injured for Louisville on offense. They get the run game going, get some balance. That's going to help them versus Miami.
2nd and 8. Tulsa trying to kind of dink and dunk their way down there. That was Presley. So now 3rd and 4. Stop short, gonna be 4th down. Dank on the tackle. Could be the final play of the night for the East Carolina defense. Gonna be the toss outside, and he's stopped. And that will do it. Wilson and Jonathan Jean make the stop on 4th and short.
Tell you what, that's an impressive out right there for East Carolina on defense.
It is.
You got one more series to go. Can you just get us off the field and into the locker room? They tackle in space. You stop on 4th and short. Really impressed with that.
How do you assess them now the rest of the way?
Listen, they got better getting closer to putting together a 4-quarter game. I think that's the thing. They've got talent. They've got explosiveness. Clearly, they can score. The run game starting to hit its stride. They've got to continue to execute more consistently over the course of a game.
We saw 965 yards of offense tonight, 68 points, 174 plays, and 48 first downs. If you want to know what Thursday night's all about, industry night, this was a good clip.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
We put this one on tape.
And it was the extended version.
So Blake Harrell and ECU get the win. They will go on a 16-day break into the bye week as Tulsa and their young team continues to march on. For Harry Lyles down to the sideline, Tom Luganbill. I'm Matt Berry up in the booth. What a weekend of college football we have coming up. Up next, Sports Center with Shea Cornett and Trevor Scales. Good night from Greenville, North Carolina. Enjoy your college football weekend.